Okay, welcome to our Astonishing Swordsmen and Sorcerers of Hyperborea campaign, session 60. If we finish this campaign before they rename the thing and into version 3, we'll be able to leave it this way. But ideally, I'll be able to just say Hyperborea soon enough when that gets released. If you've been following along, the party there's been a comet that crested the sky about a little over a month, maybe like a month and a week now. Um, the party has been seeking out its source based on the fact that they had found a strange map um, lit by the comet itself. They they've come to this small town called Bogcrest, which one of the new party members has been here before, and they have interacted with the locals, had some warm drinks, some cold drinks, some food, and they plan on entering into the fields of Heath, which the villagers primarily consider to be cursed, to seek out this golden flame. Let me see if I can find a little handout here. Put it up so I can be like, of course I won't be able to find it. All right, so in any case, let's introduce the characters, and if I can find the handout, I'll put it up so that everybody watching will see the map. So let's start at my upper left, which would be Crystal. Tell us about your character, Crystal.
Sitting around as she's studied for her spells for the day. She flips a coin in her hand. She thinks back to her first adventure, about the tomb that they open with her group of friends, finding a massive treasure inside. She thinks back to when she grabbed this first coin, the first coin she ever took from her adventuring time. She smiles, thinking back to those times, and as she flips the coin over in her hand, suddenly it turns into an eyeball. She freaks out a little bit, shuts her hand. He's always watching, he's always watching, he's always watching, she thinks to herself. And then she manages to get a grip of reality again. She opens her hand just to find a silver coin, and that is Rowan Seach.
Nice. Rowan Siege the Pyromancer. Mike, tell us about your character.
I'm playing Buka Longtooth. Buka is a Viking berserker who likes to roam around and also has a eye that roves around for women too. And unfortunately, he's gets him into a little bit of trouble as he is now acquired another wife here in Bogcrest. So he's eager to get adventuring. He will go off and tell Brighild not to worry, and he will say bye to 1, 2, 3, and 4 because he's never going to remember their names, and just gives them numbers to each one of the children, and we'll give them small stick figures that are, bound in a leather thong. And hopefully he smiles grimly and gives her a squeeze and a slap on the rear, and makes his way off for the Heath. And that is Buka.
Excellent, excellent. Uh, Nikki, tell us about your character.
Nesta, still a little confused as now there's two Brighilds in her life. So she's like, oh, don't slap Brighild on the rear. That would be bad for you, Buka. Anyway, she is she's amused endlessly at Buka's antics, and thinks it's really funny that now he's got himself a new wife. And she is very, very interested in this comet and this other adventuring party that has gone before them. So she's really thinking about that, at what kind of people they are, and whether or not she's going to have to kill these people. but she doesn't think so. As long as it's not a blobby wizard, she thinks it'll be okay. So that's Finesta, and she's a bard.
As far as you know, the wizard that was with them was not a blob. They think actually that it was that there was a woman who might have been a witch, but no blobs anywhere to be seen. And not at all a great segue going into Rush's character. Tell us about your character, Rush.
So Revna is sitting in the upper floor of the warehouse that the party's rented, sitting on top of it, her personal chest that holds the gains from their last adventure, and she rests her small gloved hands on the lid and just kind of taps the lid and rubs them with her fingertips, thinking about what she can do if she could just get one more haul like this. She could really start her own thing. But then she begins to think about the others and how much she's enjoyed venturing with them, and she begins to think to herself, well, can I do both? Pinesta has been a great leader, and she's like, she respects Brighild for being the imposing woman that she is, and this ruin sec pyromancer lady, she doesn't know too much about her, but being a studier of magic, she thinks, well, she's interesting as well. And then she thinks of the new one, Buka, who just came in, and he's a fellow Viking, and she's like, well, he's finally a proper Viking man, but he's careless and silly when it comes to his pursuit of women. So, but then again, he's a berserker, and being careless is in their nature. So she sits there and contemplates a little bit more about exactly what her plans and what she wants to do, and then decides that she's thought on it long enough. She'll have much more time to think about this. She hops up off of the chest and makes her way down to go and join the others. And that is Revna Kavalheim, the Viking Legerdmanist.
Excellent. Okay, so as noted, you guys have been staying in the small village of Bogcrest. You can, in the morning, the villagers had, they go out to there's a small stream it's on a river, but there's a small stream that is kind of running through. They're out there. You hear them smashing, the ice that's formed overnight. The weather at this time of year is incredibly treacherous in this part of Hyperborea, ranging anywhere from about -40 to about -60. So, of course, coldest in the darkness of night, and night is long these days, with only about 5 hours of light a day. The sun rising about 9:30 in the morning. It is, in fact, the second day of the 12th month of the 11th year. So winter's getting closer. They're kind of pulling buckets of water from the river and heating them up so that in the great house, so that people can wash and cook and do those things with it. They're fortunate, or everybody's fortunate, to not have to be walking around with torches or any kind of lanterns or anything, even in the early morning when the sun is barely crested the horizon, because this comet lights the sky as if it was a bright full moon. So as you're kind of preparing, you have dog sleds, so you're getting them ready. Is there anything else you want to do here in this town? I'll just I put the map up if you guys can see it. I don't know if I'm showing it to you. Well, I have to show the players. So if you remember, and this is just a revamp for anybody who might not be watching, or might be watching for the first time, you found this map that was essentially on skin and in a kind of an interesting way. And we'll probably hear about it in one of the songs of Pinesta, but essentially when the light of the comet hits it, the text appears. Although you I guess not wanting to rely on that as a technique, you guys had jotted, you copied it, so you have a copy of it, and it reads: "The lonely heath beyond Bogcrest, only whilst the comet burns." This block 6 miles northeast of the stones lies the mound. Beneath the mound of the silver flame, great treasure is hid. Knock upon the stone and enter. So you've got this kind of this map of sorts that's kind of a bit of a puzzle, but also a map. And you have made your way to the heath. As Pernesta noted, there is indeed another party of adventurers who have come only days before you, and have left into the heath. So what do you want to do? Anything else here in town? And what's your plan?
I think our plan is to just go into the heath and try to find the stones, right, guys?
Yeah.
We don't want to stay in town much longer because,
God forbid. We might get stuck in the middle of a wedding ceremony.
yeah, and that's 4 days we don't have. I don't want to give 4 days to those adventurers.
Yes.
4 more days, I should say. So, and they
Right.
said to, what is it, northeast? Yes, 6 miles northeast of the stones lies the mound. So we need to find the stones so that we can then turn towards.
Were the others on, were they using, how were they traveling?
Oh, that is a question. They actually came via a boat, which is docked. They come up the river in a small boat, and they are on foot.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Is you talk about how cold it is? Is the ground covered in snow?
Yes, indeed.
If they
You've
are
got
on
a
foot,
couple of feet of snow. I mean, some of it is so hard that it freezes over, so you can walk on it. But certainly, it's almost like you could like pitfalls if you're not careful.
so Revna would look over to the others and to Nesta and say, well, if they are on foot and they are trudging through thigh-high snow, that is a hard trek, tiring and slow. Perhaps if there were a few 2 or 3 dog sleds here that we could rent or whatever, we could probably catch them and overtake them.
Well, maybe
We
we
would
could
be
take our dog sleds.
outside.
Yeah, you guys have sleds, because remember, you
Do we
came
bring
from
ours
Gall
with us?
City. Yeah, you guys have your dog sleds.
Oh, that's right.
Sorry, Rush. Yeah, if that wasn't clear, right? You guys remember originally you came from Gall City. You came on your large ship, your sailing ship, to Gall City, and you then at that point you bought basically 7 dog sleds, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah, and currently
I
you
was
have with
confused.
you, just to recap, sorry I didn't do that. Recap with you, you've got 4 of your mercenaries that you had hired that have stayed with you.
Yeah.
For with the boat.
Yeah.
Not with the boat, but they're from the boat crew, not the crew, but they're the mercenaries that you hired for the boat.
Gotcha.
And you also have Helene the cleric. So you've got 4 kind of NPCs. I'll say 5 rather. We'll say they're on like 3 dog sleds between the 4 of them.
Okay. So, but we did make it to Khromarium, right? Correct?
Oh yeah.
Okay, I got confused. For some reason, I thought we made it to Khromarium. We used the dog sleds to get to Khromarium, and then when we left there, we left. I didn't think we had the dog sleds with us. Oh, then just totally take back everything I just
No.
said about renting dog sleds.
Yeah. That's because I had the conversation before you got there, because I knew it was coming. I didn't want to like hold up
Yeah.
the thing.
So I was
Essentially, what
just
happened
simply-
last time, let me just review just because I know it went by quick. You left the initial adventure site and you stopped in Xambaala. That's where you got the map. Of course, you didn't know it was a map back then. You headed to Khromarium to investigate what it was. That's when the comet crested the sky, and you saw what it was, and then you sailed back to Gaul, which took about a month. Then from Gaul, you rented dog sledge, and you came here.
Okay. In that case, I would just simply look at Panesta and the others and just say, well, if they are on foot trudging through thigh-high snow, that trek is going to be slow and tiresome. And we have dog sleds, so we should have no problem catching them in no time.
Do we want to take our dogs into the Heath?
I think so.
Okay.
Do you think it's dangerous for the dogs to go, or do you think it's a bad idea?
No, I don't think we have much choice. I'm just making sure.
You don't believe all this undead stuff, right?
Oh, I totally do. I mean, what we've seen, yes, probably undead.
Yeah, having traveled with them a short time, Buka, I would say if things keep going the way they have been, you're going to have an opportunity to say some things that are really going to be strange.
But it will
I
be
see.
fun.
So you're worried about bog witches then too.
I don't know about that. At this point, having
see.
seen my friend get disintegrated and then reintegrated back together again, I'm not going to count anything out. I'll be honest with you, Buka and Revna.
No, I mean, I'm sold. You don't have to convince me.
Yeah, I mean, you would definitely move faster. I mean, obviously, you know that, as you noted on the dog sled. With a little bit of talk and investigation with the town, because you've been asking about these people, they had like snowshoes and stuff, so it's not like they're just like walking out there. But yeah, you're moving, at least twice as fast as them if you're on dog sleds. The downside to the dog sleds, of course, is that, dogs are animals, and animals aren't always controllable, and also you're not going to be quiet if you're on dog sleds. So if that was something you were trying to do, but I don't think that really concerns you. But those are all things that you would know. But you're at least twice as fast as them on the dog sleds.
I look at Buka and I say, no matter what's out there, it'll be a fun adventure. Probably better than getting married. So
Yeah, I'll say.
so we
Revna reaches over and like pinches at Buka's arm and says, plus, you're a berserker. Are you not? Do you not live for such fights?
Well, it's not like I'm saying let's not go. I'm saying bring the fight. That's what I'm saying. Let's take the dogs.
let's take the dogs. Let's go fast.
Yes.
We know that some of this stuff is only visible or available when the comet's in the sky. So I think time matters. I think the dogs are a good idea. Yep. You guys have talked me around. Yep.
If we get hungry, we can eat them.
We discussed that. Yep.
I'll try to bring enough to keep your belly full. But let's make sure that's a last resort thing.
Dog's good.
I'm not disagreeing. Just saying it's last resort.
Let's go.
Okay,
Yeah.
so there's not a whole lot of chance. I mean, it's open scrub and hills, so it's not particularly difficult to make your way, at least from where you are, because you're close to the river. You would know, I mean, your experienced adventurers, that once you get into the thick of this, it can be a little bit, especially with the snow, it can be a little hard to keep your way, but the Heath is pretty easy to navigate, So which direction would you like to go? I mean, it's essentially, the world is your oyster. To the south, let me look at the map here. I think to the south of you is the river, so you're not going to don't want to go that way. The Heath is essentially to the north of you. You're basically literally on the south of the Heath. You can go in any direction you like, except for south, because that puts you in the water. So where do you want to go? It's pretty much open land here.
Which way did the other adventurers go? I asked somebody.
Oh, make a test of charisma.
Test of charisma?
Yep.
Okay. That's not a d20. That's why I need a d6. There we go.
That's correct.
My charisma 15. So 4.
4. Okay. Yeah, you're asking the guys kind of pulling your sleds out, and he kind of looks at you, and you're not dressed extravagant, but you have like nice furs and nice equipment and all kinds of stuff. And he kind of looks you up and down. You can see these kind of not wealthy man. And he says, "Well, you folks sure do ask a lot of questions."
Well, I like to tell stories, and you have to have all the information if you want to tell a really good story.
Well, I like to listen to stories, especially with a nice beverage in my hand around the fire. But those things don't come cheap.
Of course they don't. Everything is expensive in this day and age, especially with winter coming on and all of that. Supply chain issues going to happen, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm.
Here, I'll give him 20 gold.
Crap. Okay. Well, yeah, he takes it, trying to look like that's not more gold than he's ever seen in his life. And he
Right.
says, they went northeast,
Northeast.
across the bog and into the heath. Be careful; the bogs are not always frozen solid,
Ooh,
even with
good
this
to know.
weather.
Well, I look at the rest of the party and I say, shall we? Or do you want to
Sure.
try to go a different way?
It seems like these folk probably have an idea of where they're going, so I say we just beat them there.
I mean, the map says we need to go northeast, right? So seems
Northeast
the way.
from the mounds, yeah. Or from the stones.
Ah, okay.
But it seems as good a way as any since we don't really know, so
I agree.
Okay, so off you go. Crystal, roll me a d6 as you enter into the heath and across the bog.
Oh, of course I did.
Is that the
Let's
sound
see.
of someone rolling a 1?
Well,
Would I do that to you, Rush?
yep.
that doesn't seem to be the thing that. Oh, very exciting. All right, you guys are traveling. You crossing the bog area. As noted, probably because of the fact that there's some kind of maybe volcanic action. I mean, you don't really know anything about the science of it, but sometimes there's these bog gases that kind of come up in there. You know from the, especially parents would know that because they sometimes are flammable. Maybe you imagine that's why, but you actually see parts where this thing is frozen solid. Then you see these like areas that look like they're melted and pushed back. And of course you're able to avoid them because the guy told you. So that's not a problem. Then you enter into the heath, which is basically these hills. And yeah, I mean, there's snow, but of course, as it melts, it compresses down and gets more icy. So the dogs are mushing through it, but it's icy, and you're making good time though. And you're about 2 hours out. And at that point, you look back, you don't even really see the city. If you listen real hard, you think you hear water, maybe, but looking around you, you just see rolling hills in all directions. Go ahead and roll another d6 there, Crystal, and see if you're surprised by this thing.
Okay. When we're far enough away from the city, I will cast Sorceress Armor.
Okay.
And 5.
5. Okay, you are not surprised. Let me see if you surprise it. You do not. Okay. So let's do a little. Oh, all right, it's pretty far away. All right, about 100, 150 feet away from you. It's hard to judge, out here the thing. You see a. Let me see how big this thing is. Oh yes. Ah yes. You start off so nicely. Oh, all right. Oh no, it's huge. All right, so you see, at first you think maybe it's a mammoth, because you see like kind of this like beyond one of the hills, you just see like this like what looks to be like a black furry thing kind of go by, and then you see a spindly leg reach up, and the thing comes up onto the hill, the Heath, about 100 feet away from you, and you are looking at a very, very large spider. Um, it's it kind of looks like a tarantula, so it's all hairy, but it's very big. It's about head to toe, so it's maybe not quite as long as a mammoth. It's about 7 or 8 feet, but of course it's real tall because spiders have the legs coming up, and it looks at you and it seems to be about to make a move towards you. So I think we're gonna just go to initiative because this thing is actually vicious. Yeah. So let's see what we're gonna do. You see this giant spider run siege. What would you like to do?
Casting a spell.
Okay. How about Buka? You're about 100, we'll say 120 feet away to make it easy.
Readying short spear.
Okay. How about Benesta?
I'll ready a spell as well.
Okay. And Revna?
You said 120?
120 feet away. Yeah.
The laser crossbow, I don't know what the short, medium, and long range is.
It only goes 75, but there's no range penalties. It's always just 75. So yeah.
Then I'm going missile.
You gonna do what?
Going missile.
Okay. Let me just see what Helene would do.
My short bow. Oh, excuse me. I'm sorry.
Okay. Okay. Helene is pulling out her giant hammer, and your men are about to make a morale check, as are the dogs. Let's see. Morale 9 for the warriors. Oh, they're holding. How about the dogs? Okay. Actually, I'll do one sled at a time because not every dog will react exactly the same. So, we're gonna go Ron Siege, your dogs are fine. Buka, your dogs are fine. Vanessa, your dogs are fine. Oh, okay. Well, these dogs are tough. And let's see what Helene's dogs. Oh, her dogs are not. And okay. Okay, cool. So Helene goes to pull up her hammer, and her dogs start to sprint. But everybody else's dogs are holding steady as it's going. The spider starts to move towards you, and Crystal, roll its initiative. D6. 4.
Okay. Also a 4.
Oh, okay. What's your dex?
10.
Okay, the spider's gonna go first. It actually you actually see it start to move forward, and as it does, you can as it's walking, it seems to like disappear and then reappear with every step. And how fast can this thing move? It's only 50, so it just moves towards you. It can't really do much beyond that. It's gonna be able to get to you, you think, but it can't quite get to you in the first phase. So, it's just moving towards you. That's all it can do, even though it won initiative. So then we will go into phase 1 of initiative. So, is anybody moving? No, you guys are all staying put, right? So melee goes first, but there's nobody to melee at this moment. Missiles go next. So that's Buka. Mike? Am I here? Am I still here?
Yeah, I can hear you, Mike.
Oh, okay.
Mike.
Sorry, just making sure it wasn't me. Mike, you're muted if you didn't know. All right. Well, while we're waiting for him to come, there he goes.
Okay, there we go.
No problem. You said you're throwing a javelin, right?
Throwing my spear, yes.
Spear, yeah, go for it. You got it's let's see, it moved 50, so it's like 70 feet away.
So, then I'm not throwing my spear.
Okay, it's not still too far away. It is actually close enough now for Revenant to shoot it with the laser crossbow, though. As I know Rush had said he wanted to do missile. Rush, I muted you just in case you didn't know that. I'll do that. We're having mute problems tonight.
Sorry.
No problem.
There's
I muted you because I could hear a lot of background noise. Sorry about that. But yeah, it moved forward 50 feet, so it's now within your range for the laser crossbow if you want to do missile.
Well, in all fairness, when I said missile, I was planning to shoot with the short bow because I thought it was 120. So
Okay.
do I have to switch, or can I?
I mean,
just go straight
if you want, I mean, I'll say because the thing moved faster than you, you were switching your bow because you wouldn't have a chance to switch it yet. You would have been switching it this round. So, I mean, this phase. So I'll say you're about to switch and now you realize this thing's close enough. So you're fine. You can shoot.
Okay.
You can shoot up to 3 times with it, actually.
Yeah.
And there's no
let's do
range
that.
penalty for a laser crossbow.
Holy crap! It's 3 per round. All right, here we go.
It is, but contra lasers, though, because you only have so many.
Yeah, I've got them marked. It's 19 shots. All right, here we go.
All
Pew,
right.
pew, pew.
That's the noise it makes.
It is.
Hmm.
Oh, that one hit.
Wow. Okay.
That one did not.
Oh, no. And that's actually a critical. So stop for a second there. That would have max damage too. Because you might lose your next shot. So roll me a d12. Because that was a critical fail. Don't roll high. Roll high. 10. For a thief is trip fall. So you shoot the first one, maybe the dogs jump because of it. The second one shoots up in the air and you fall down onto the ground next to the sleigh. So you are going to have to spend the rest of the round getting up.
All right. What's the damage on
But
that?
you did hit it though for 11 points. The first one. Yeah.
Oh, there you don't have to roll damage for that?
Nope, I put it in for you when you did
It
the.
does it. It did
Yep.
it. Damage 11. Okay.
Yeah. Let me see how many hit points this thing has. This was unexpected for this thing to appear so quickly, but I should never have asked Crystal to roll for wandering monsters. Let's see. Okay, so that is a hard hit. I mean, it doesn't kill it, but it is definitely hurt. And it will roll. Actually, I'm actually gonna have it roll its because now we're in second phase. I'm gonna roll. Oh, actually, no, spells go off. Spells can still happen. Go ahead, Run Siege.
Rowan Siege does kind of like a martial arts move and punches the air and casts fireball at this thing.
Fireball, nice.
Oh yeah,
Okay. It gets a save, right?
it does for half.
Oh,
Okay,
damn.
15. Okay, that makes the save. So what's the damage on the fireball? Whoa, nice.
That's
So
a
13
26,
points. Okay, nice. That all right. Wow. Okay. All right. Yeah, this thing it gets laser crossbow. The fireball hits it, and you see it kind of like it must have been like phasing out just as the fireball struck because it gets roasted like part of it, but part of it is still fine. It looks very hurt. But it's still kind of, it doesn't roll a morale till next round. So it's still kind of crawling forward as Vanessa gets to fire her spell off. Assuming
I'm
you still
gonna
want
try
that.
to cast paralyze.
Oh, okay. I guess just going for it.
He gets a sorcery save.
Sorcery save. Fails.
Okay.
Okay, is there a limit on hit dice or anything for that? Or
Yes, it has. I can do twice as many HD as I have caster levels, and since I am now level 8, my caster level is 8, so 16. I can do 16 hit dice.
yeah, that's enough. Yes, this thing is like inching towards you, and and you can kind of see it start to like. It's like phasing in and out, but it's staying in one spot because it's definitely frozen.
Don't move, spider person thing.
Yeah, and it's about 70 feet away from you now, and it is effectively a non-combatant. I mean, you could finish it off, whatever you want to do with it if you want.
Yeah, I would say we finish it off.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah,
unless you
so
guys
mine-
don't want to, but
I mean, yeah. So essentially, this whole thing was like 10 seconds long. Like basically, this thing came out, started moving towards you, and then it was like zap, fireball. Then it's frozen. And of course the spear. The spear was getting about to be thrown by Babuka. Then he's like, "Did someone do that?" So yeah, you move up to this thing, and you can see that it. You're on top of a hill. I guess you leave the dogs because they're not going to go anywhere near it. But you jump off your sled, and one of the people take the reins, and you guys walk up to the. To this thing who's kind of frozen in place, like I say, is phasing in and out, and you can just, jam your spear through it or whatever, Buka, whoever wants to kill it off.
you go ahead, Buka.
How about
Okay,
it, Buka? Yeah.
I'll puncture it.
Nice. Yeah, so you stick your spear through it and it drops. As you're over there, everybody roll a d6.
6. Five.
Oh, cool. All right. Yeah, that makes sense actually. Buka, so you jam this thing with the you pull your spear out and you maybe like slapping some of the ichor off of the spear, and you notice that just down below was its web, and it was kind of walking across the web, and you can see in the web there's several skeletons. And at first you're just thinking, well, skeletons, of course, but then as you kind of look and you squint your eye, you can see that laying next to one is actually there's actually a tube, like a scroll tube that's next to the bone, so it just kind of mixed in with the bones. But you can tell from this distance it definitely is a scroll tube. And it is, I mean, it'd be easy enough without the spider there to get down the web and get it or cut it free or whatever, but you can see it down there.
Yeah, I'll jump down and I'll pull it out and toss it to one of the more literate looking people.
Okay. Yeah, you pull it free from the strands, and you can see the bones are on there rattle a little bit. You can see that there's definitely some human or humanoid type bones, and mostly animals though that are caught in here. Nothing. It looks like it probably hasn't been very lucky lately because there's no like fresh kill on it. It looks like they're pretty much all bones. But yeah, you toss the scroll up to whoever's literate, probably Rowan Siege.
Yep.
I mean, that makes the most sense, I'm assuming, because you guys try to travel together. You are holding a yellow ivory tube. It's clearly a scroll tube. It's got the little cork at the end, the screw cork. It's closed. You shake it. There's something inside of it.
Rowan Seach is gonna like hold her breath and like hold it away from her and then like pop the cork.
Okay. Yeah, so you hold it away and you just screw it, and nothing shoots out or anything. You kind of pull it away, and then maybe you shake it a little bit, and you can hear paper inside.
She'll take the paper out and look at it.
Okay. Yeah. You slide the paper out, and you see that it is in fact a scroll. In fact, you would know immediately what it is. It is a scroll of protection from elementals.
Nice. And this looks like a scroll of protection from elementals. That you never know when something like this could come in handy.
No, you should hang on to that, Rowan Seach.
I will. Thank you.
Yes.
Finders keepers, they say.
I'm going to butcher this spider. Is there any poison sacs, such? on it?
This spider is quite interesting. You've never seen a spider like this before, that's for sure. Go ahead and make me a roll. Do berserkers have a special skill for that or anything? No, you just won't
Nope.
be able to. You think? Okay, yeah, we'll give you because it's kind of a foreign looking spider. We'll give you only a 1 and 6 to know. But if you have a bonus to what's your wisdom or intelligence, one or the other. If you have a bonus, that you can
Wisdom
use.
is 13, intelligence
Okay.
is 9.
All right, we'll say 2 and 6. You might
2 and
be able to
6?
you might be able to figure it out even if you don't know the thing. Oh yeah, Yeah, you're
There
looking
we
at it.
go.
It's you're like, I've never seen, but then you're like, but I've dealt with enough spiders to kind of know. And you get into to where you believe the sack will be, and sure enough, it does look like it has some kind of poison sack. Yeah. You think you could probably collect some of it? We'll say roll a d4. Okay. You think you could coat a weapon 3 times?
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, you would know with this kind of venom too. Like it's going to be you'll coat the weapon, and as soon as you swing, like if you miss, basically it's gonna be gone because you're wiping it off on the clothes, whatever. So
Right.
you better hit. But it is in fact save or die poison. So um, 3. You make a note of that because I won't remember. But it's 3 doses of giant phase spider venom. Always useful. And you had traveled. You rolled a 1, right, Crystal? So you had traveled to here. Let's do this. Okay. So yeah, you're able to obviously navigate around the spider and continue to move if you so desire. I'm kind of marking your path here. I mean, not that it really matters, but you know, you might as well have fun to roll 20. Oh, you can't see this because I don't have you on the page. Here I am having all the fun to myself.
Just about to say, I can't.
Go.
There we go.
There you go. All right, you're down at the bottom. Yeah, you moved away from the town. I mean, you can basically see about each one of these hexes is a mile, so you can see roughly a mile in every direction. So, like right now, you guys are, you've been moving northeast, so you're like the 1 hex back from the edge. It's all you see around you is Heath, and you're traveling about 1 hex, no, 2 hexes per hour on the dog sled. Since you're looking around, you can travel faster than that, but if you're actually looking for stuff, then I'm having you move at like half speed. But you can actually move 4 hexes if you want to go for it. But if you do that, you won't, you'll be surprised by anything that jumps out at you because you'll just be going. So that's up to you. If you want to move faster.
I
And
think
you've
we're
gone.
trying to find these rocks. So
Yeah, that's what I figured. That's why I didn't ask you. I probably should have asked, but yeah, that's why I didn't ask. So yeah, you've only been going so far. You got about 5 hours. I mean, you have as much time as you want, really, because the comet lights up the sky all night. But you've got about 5 hours of daylight, and you've only burned an hour or so far. So you're still the sun's still cresting. Do you want to keep moving in the direction you're going? I'm assuming.
Yeah, I think we decided
do you have a reason
northeast.
not to? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
All right. Cool. So you travel to, and before I reveal that, Buka, Mike, roll a d6 for me. Something interesting might come happen here.
4.
Okay. Nope, nothing interesting. Well, not too much interesting, only that you see. I guess technically you would see all this too. You guys are, at the end of this period, you guys are boop, boop, boop. You guys are about right here. Well, I guess technically you're here. When you see it, you see a small cabin. It's kind of, in a bit of a valley. It looks like there's probably some kind of small, like a stream that's running out of one of the rises of Heath and going through there, but just like the larger stream that was in the village, it looks like it's iced over. But you can see that there's like a cleared path that somebody's been walking back and forth out into the stream, and you can see nearby there's like a pick, like they're smacking the ice the same way that they did at the other place. But you don't see anybody, although you do see, which is why you probably see it from a mile away immediately and maybe go up on top, is you see that there is a smoke. It's like this like dull gray smoke rising up out of the chimney against a dull gray sky that is Hyperborea, of course, with this kind of silvery glow from the comet above. So yeah, there's a little house there.
Maybe just one of us or so should go to that cabin. They may know where the stones are if they live around here.
I'll go check it out. Be
Okay,
another widow.
I was just gonna say that.
Might be.
You read my mind,
Okay.
Luca.
Well, how far back to the rest do you want to stay? Because I mean, remember each hex is a mile, so you see this thing; it's like a mile and a half away from you. And remember, you have all the dogs, and you're a massive party. So I don't know how far back everybody else wants to stay.
I mean, I
Well,
trust. I mean, it looks innocent enough, and I trust that Buka could handle himself. I mean, if two of you want to go, just in case.
I think I got this.
perhaps myself or Revna should go just in case, Buka.
No. I mean, I've handled things like this before. I think I'll be fine.
Well, we're not exactly inconspicuous out here. How far away should we be from you then?
Well, whatever you're comfortable with, I guess. I mean, I'm comfortable going up there myself.
I mean, I think we could stay a couple of 100 yards away.
Okay.
I mean, what is it? A cabin full of witches? Can't be that. So I'm sure it's something innocent, right?
Oh, absolutely.
I
And
mean,
even if it is witches, I mean, they shouldn't want to turn you to frog unless you like offend them or something.
exactly. Here I am. I'm a single male. Probably haven't seen one in a while.
Well,
I
go
pose
get 'em.
no
Sure you
threat
don't
to
want
them.
Panesta or Revna going with you?
I'm pretty sure of it.
Go get him, Tiger.
I think I got this.
Okay, so you're gonna
Okay.
ride the dogs out to a few hundred yards away. Kind of keep
Yes.
yourself down. All right, and then you jump. Are you gonna take your dog sled up to the building, or you're just gonna walk?
I'm going to take the dogs up.
Okay. So you get you know the party gets down into an area where they feel like they might not be seen. You ride up. Of course, obviously the dogs make sound. So as you get closer, you notice the
Yeah.
door opens up and a man steps out. He's got a excuse me. He seems to be pulling on like a large fur cloak as he kind of walks out and looks around. He's maybe 50 years old. He's not like tremendously old, but he's certainly not a young man. He's got a bit of a beard. He looks well kept though. He's not shabby looking. Like he looks like he's it's a well trimmed beard, and he's his hair's smooth or whatever. He looks at you. He kind of looks up, but he looks around. To you would imagine maybe to see if you're alone, and then he raises his hand, calls out, and he says, "Oh, traveler.
Yes, friend.
You're out in the woods, out in the heath alone. Come, warm yourself by my fire. I don't get many visitors out here."
I said, thank you. He said, actually, I'm head of a little bit of a party.
Ah. Well, I haven't got much, and you look around. It's a pretty small place. You probably figure, I mean, you could all fit in there, but it wouldn't be like, it's not a big house. He says, I don't have much, but what I have is yours. Hospitality to all.
He says, that's fine. I mean, you have fresh water. And,
Yes, yes.
that's fine. Do you have a good story?
He smiles and says, I could use a good story. Mine are old and worn out.
And I said, how about a wineskin to go with that story? And I'll throw him a very chilled wineskin.
Okay, yeah. He catches it. He kind of shakes it. Ah, yes. We don't get that much of that around here either. Every once in a while, I make my way to the river to pick up supplies, but in this weather, it's not good to be alone in the heath. One could fall in the bug.
Yes. So what are you doing out here all by yourself?
You never want to be the youngest son of a family of 10. This is my inheritance, my land. Perhaps someday I'll make riches. And then he kind of laughs to himself.
He said, I see. So did your dad actually call you 10, or did he give you a name?
He laughs. Oh no, of course. A name was given to me, though it hasn't been said in so long I can't remember it. Maybe you could offer me one.
So, oh, let's say Jonas. Jonas sounds good.
Jonish, that's a good name. So come, enjoy my hospitality. If you need some water, and he kind of starts to walk towards the stream where the pick is, and then he kind of looks at you and he says, "Maybe a younger man like you should handle that." I don't see your party here though. Will they
And
be here
I
soon?
will I'll stick my fingers between my teeth and give a very high and loud whistle that can be heard echoing across the heath.
Nobody comes.
I will,
Good.
if you hear that, I will turn and look at the others and say, well, ladies, I think that was our gentleman.
I guess he couldn't handle it by himself after all.
Or it's safe. I would take my sled. I would suggest we take the sleds up.
Okay, yeah. So you
Yeah.
guys come around, the bend, and you see, as noted, a small cabin. I mean, it's not tiny, but it's small. And I mean, you saw it from a distance as well. And you see this old gentleman. He's got kind of a cloak, like he's definitely not like dressed to be like out hiking in the woods. He just kind of put it on so he could be outside. And when he sees you coming, he says to Buka, he says, "Forgive me, but it's cold. I'll be inside. Just come in once you've watered the dogs." And he then goes in and closes the door behind him.
Okay. I'll go in immediately. I'll give them like 30 seconds and then I'll just walk in behind them.
Okay. Okay. You walk in behind him. You see that he's stooped over like a fireplace, and you see that it seems like he's putting more wood on it and stoking it. He turns, and he says, "Oh, that didn't take long." And he laughs and he says, "You probably smelled the stew," and you actually do when you open the door and come in. You smell this like delicious stew, sitting in the pot over the stove.
I said, well, I was just wondering if you wanted us to bring in some supplies, or do you actually have enough for us all to eat?
He kind of looks. He says, "This should be plenty. I was making enough so I didn't have to cook every day. You know, you know how it is. But that's fine. We'll share tonight, and
We'll leave you enough rations so that you have plenty.
I appreciate that. And I have some bread that shall bake too. And you can actually see on the table he's got some like loaves that are kind of sitting, that are on like a slab, like a stone slab. And he says, "I could use some water though. There's some buckets." And he points at some buckets by the door.
Yep, I'll get that water, and I'll grab the buckets and close the door again.
So yeah, you guys all arrive. You see Book out there with the buckets. I'm assuming getting water.
There's an old guy inside, Jonas. He should be okay, I think. Seems like a good fellow.
Well, and I would agree, as I always trust old guys. But I'm just saying, we did hear a rumor of an evil old man on the heath that lures travelers to their doom. I just want to make sure it's not, this particular old man.
Well, I never listened to rumors like that. I mean, besides me and Brighild, she was kind of keeping me occupied during that whole dinner thing. So I don't, I'm sorry. Maybe, maybe we don't want to stay here. I'll get him some water in that. Just don't eat the stew then, I guess.
Well, we can see what we'll check it out. And like I said, we don't have to. He might not be, and it might have just been a rumor. I just think we should use some caution, as always.
Yeah, he says he's the 10th son. This is all he has. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Did you ask him which way the standing stones were?
No, I figured we were going to be here the night. We could just have that come up later as we're telling stories. I didn't want to like pump them for information. I figured this was going to be friendly, not an interrogation.
It can be friendly. We'll just, when we sleep tonight, we'll just make sure someone, we just keep watch.
Yeah. All right. Well, in that case, I guess I'll get rid of the spell and I will dismiss my sorceress armor because I don't want to look like I'm on fire.
Nope. Oh,
So
just
then I'm
walking
just
around
going
like
to
you're on
be
fire.
bringing some water. So, and we can eat our own rations. We could just, he claims he has enough for all of us, but, I kind of have an iron constitution. I could try it. If I don't feel right, then, I don't mind.
Well,
I mean,
I
I've
don't
had
expect you
worse
to be the
things.
guinea. I don't expect you to be a guinea pig, Buka, but I appreciate it.
Well, I mean, I didn't mean to get you guys into this mess just because I was fooling around with my fiance, and wasn't paying attention. So,
Oh, no
but
worries. Well, don't worry about it. We'll figure it out. And like I said, he could just be an old man with his inherited house. I mean,
yeah, I mean, it's just a rumor, right?
exactly. Just a rumor, and not everyone's out to get us. So,
Like black witches and undead.
exactly. But
Yeah.
we will just be careful. That's all. Just be careful. And we'll just keep a watch tonight.
Okay. I'm
And
getting the water.
yeah, if he goes to get the water, I will, kind of go up towards the house, I guess.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, the door's closed, but it's not locked. I mean, if you could pretty easily open it up. I mean, you've still got at least another 3 hours of daylight too, as you're arriving here. But you go up to the door. It doesn't have. There's no. You notice that there are windows in the house, but they are shuttered. So you can't really see in except for the fact that but you do know the door was unlocked because I mean, you could try it, I suppose. He said come in, so if Buka told you that. Then.
Okay.
Did you want to go in?
Yep, I do.
Okay, yeah. You open the door and you see he turns and he says, "Oh, you must be the party that." It kind of thinks for a second. Booker told him his name and he didn't. He's like that I was told would come. How many of there are you? I don't have that many stools, but we can make do here. And you see him kind of moving some stuff around, to try to make some space. It's a pretty small space. There's kind of, you can see off to one side. There's clearly like the pallet that he sleeps on. And then he's got kind of a table in the center, and then he has another table off to the side where it looked like he was doing preparation work and stuff like that. There's like your typical, some bowls, some knives, and stuff that that you might be working with. You can actually see that there's hanging up on the wall. You see several pelts from rabbits that look like they're pretty fresh, like they're drying basically, and kind of a large fire that he's cooking this stew over. You can smell it now; it's starting to smell very good. Yeah, and he says, "I am Jonas. How may I call you?"
Hello, Jonas. I am Pinesta. And I look at the other two.
You may call me Rowan.
Nods. Rowan, welcome. We don't get many visitors here, especially in the winter.
I'm
Strange.
Revna. Sorry.
Oh, I didn't see you there.
Yeah, sometimes I blend. I'm Revna. It's a pleasure.
Oh yes, yes. It's been a busy week. Huh. Come, sit. And he picks up off the main table these like slabs, these like stone slabs that have these basically flour for bread on, and he brings them over and he puts them next to the fire. And then you see him, he takes like what is essentially an hourglass and he flips it over. And then he says, "We must remember to turn the bread."
Oh, you're baking bread?
Yes. If you forget to turn the bread, it gets burnt on one side and smushy on the other. We don't want that. Nice even crust is what we want.
Well, we appreciate your hospitality, right, Rowan?
My third brother was a baker. Quite successful. Had a place in Gaul for a while. But I don't get out those that way. You've got to take care of the property here. Otherwise the foxes come in.
So how
Oh.
long have you been living out here by yourself?
Oh, this will probably be my third winter. Maybe fourth. Third that I can remember.
I see.
Third winter?
Mhm.
You must be quite hardy to have survived such conditions on your own.
Well, a little fire, a little friendship, some rabbit. Seems they can survive anything. The Hyperborean hare is probably the toughest creature in the world. They say that when the gods return and there's another green death, all that will survive is the Hyperborean hare.
Oh, is that what they say? I've never heard that before.
Well,
What do you think of the comet that has been overhead recently?
oh, it's very strange. We didn't have a comet like this last winter, or the winter before. They say there hasn't been a comet like this in 1,000 years, right?
Who's they?
Oh, I thought I said already. The other travelers that I saw earlier this week.
Oh, ran into other travelers.
I did.
I'm going to take it was a party of 5.
There were 8 of them, I believe.
Oh, wow. I'll kind of look at Benesta.
8 people traveling through the heath. Did they say where they were going?
They were in search of a treasure,
Oh,
following some glow to the north. I told them there was a glow to the north, but they're going the wrong way.
oh, really? Why would you say that?
Well, before the comet lit the sky and it was hard to see, there was a bit of a glow, kind of. And he's like to the north, but not towards the river, but away from it. So that would be the northwest of here. And so they went. It's not very far, but you probably can't see it right now. I imagine it's not very far, I should say. I don't know. You can't really tell these things, can you, in Hyperborea? Distances seem distorted, time.
Yep. Especially
Oh,
across this featureless heath.
Yes, and he kind of seems like a little surprised. He quickly looks at the hourglass, and he sees there's still time, and he turns back and says, "Don't want to burn the bread."
No, we don't.
So, what brings you into the heath in the dead of winter? Don't tell me treasure.
We're in
Uh.
search of stories, right, Benesta?
Always. I'm a humble bard, and I'm in search of stories, and I heard there's a really good one out here on the heath.
Boulevard. You guys like armed to the teeth.
Yeah. Hey, like Vanessa's ever been humble in her life, but it's all
Mhm.
right.
Well, there are many stories on the Heath. Some say there is a witch, a bog witch, that eats children.
Well, have you been, since you've been living out here, seen any evidence of a bog witch?
I know people come out to the Heath and disappear quite often, but I think it has more to do with the bog itself than witches.
Yes, it can be treacherous, both footing and just all of the sinkholes through the ice and things like that.
Yes, indeed.
Have you heard of a story of stones around here, ruins? Or have you seen them yourself?
Oh, there are many ruins on the Heath. This place was once a great and powerful nation, Gaul, before the Green Death. Adventurers often come and seek what was here. They say of a huge ape with many arms ran wild on the Heath a couple years back. It was white and slew many men.
Oh, yes, I think I heard that story. Yes, it says. Thinking that it could, the ape that they released, of course. But she's not gonna say that to him. To just say, do you believe that? Really? An ape with many arms? I mean,
Well, when you've lived as long as I have, you see many things, even out here on the Heath. I once saw a spider as big as my house.
oh,
Mm-hmm.
well, I don't think you have to worry about that anymore.
Oh, what kind of turns into this thing?
Well, we encountered a spider, a very large spider, on our way here.
Oh, tell me you didn't lead it here. You see him, he kind of looks around.
Oh
And,
no, it's gone. It's as dead as I think it can get. It's dead. We killed it.
Hmm. Okay. And he kind of like edges towards one of the windows and kind of opens a shutter and he looks out. He closes it again.
Have you ever heard of the Mound of the Silver Flame?
Only so much as these travelers told me a couple days ago. Don't tell me that you're in with those kinds of people. They did not look
Just
to
for
be
the
the
story.
nicest. Oh, I see. Not for the treasure.
Stories often come with treasure, but that's not the main goal.
Let's see. Well, only that they said it lies out in the Heath, and only what I told you of the flame that I've seen, or the glow that I've seen.
It's coming from the northwest.
Yes, I could not investigate such a thing. I'm no warrior. I do have any kind of like points, and you see like leaning against the wall, you see what looks to be probably like a long sword in a sheath. But you can just looking at it, you can see that like it's like dusty, like it's been sitting there for a long time and not been touched.
Well, we appreciate your hospitality and your stories.
Excellent. All right, yeah, and he then turns and he sees that the bread needs to be turned, and he walks over and turns it. He's got like a big like basically a fur. Like he goes and he touches the stone thing. He turns it around, and you see that one side of the bread is perfectly brown, and he turns the other one, and he says, "The bread will be ready soon."
Thank you.
Do I not also get a story? You're here for the silver flame? What is the silver flame? The others would not tell me anything.
Well, I don't know a lot about it. That's why I've come searching for the story. But we found a strange map of a sort, given to me by a friend. And the map had a very specific instructions on it, saying that beneath the mound of the silver flame great treasure is hid. Knock upon the stone and enter. 6 miles northeast of the stones lies the mound, in the lonely heath beyond Bogrest, only whilst the comet burns. And this map is being sought after by people who are not the best. People who I know have other agendas. So not only am I here for stories, I'm here to see what is so important that these others would want it.
Oh, I see. Keep the bad people away from things that could be of harm. That seems to be a noble gesture.
Well, I know that other things that this person who owns the map is doing, they're horrific. And so yes, I would like to keep her or her cronies away from whatever power might lay here in the heath.
He nods. You can see he's kind of like, he goes over to the pot and he's stirring it, the rabbit stew, and he says, "It's good to be to noble and believe that you are above others, that you could do good. And go ahead. Who does anybody have any bonus to be surprised?
The one time I trust the old dude.
I know it's the one time we trust him. It's the one time he's not. Does anybody have a bonus? If not, go ahead. Rev, I'm gonna have Revenant roll because you're a thief. You'd be eyeballing it. Roll me a d6, Rush. Let me see if you see what this guy's about to do. You are not surprised, so you do. Everybody does because you see him. So he started the thing, and then you see him reach his hand up really quickly and try to grab what appears to be like there's like a tapestry hanging there, and there's like what you probably thought was just some kind of and you probably still think it's just some kind of a rope that was holding it to the wall, but he looks like he's reaching for it in a manner that's probably not the best. But because you caught him before he could pull it, so he didn't surprise you, you actually can roll initiative and do something if you'd like. So just go down the line. Rowan, you see this guy reaching for this, in a menacing way, we'll say, for this rope. What do you want to do?
Spell.
Okay, this is a pretty small space if you're going to throw a fireball. Buka.
I'm outside with the dogs.
Oh, that's right. You didn't want to say. Podesta.
Spell.
Okay. How about Revenant?
Allow me to look upon thine inventory momentarily. Aha! I am going to go missile.
Okay. All right. Go ahead, Podesta, since you're talking to him, and make me an initiative roll for the party.
Okay.
Ooh, he got a 5.
I got a 2.
I mean, I understand, but the whole.
Nikki?
I got a 2.
Nikki?
Yeah, can you hear me,
Podesta.
Daniel?
Roll initiative.
I got a 2.
I don't think he can hear anybody.
Okay, I don't hear
Daniel,
anybody.
can you hear
Rush,
us?
which means I don't hear anybody. Okay.
Yeah, he
Somehow I
doesn't
have
hear
lost my hearing. Hold on,
You guys can hear me, right?
Yes,
Mike?
I
Yeah.
can hear you.
Yeah, okay.
Now's the time to say anything we want.
Coming through the.
Okay, old man, don't make me use my fuck you, Rod.
Ah!
Oh, shoot.
Probably
about
shouldn't have
to-
said that, but
Don't worry, I'm about to burn this old man down with his cabin.
the one time I trust him.
Oh,
He's
yeah,
a
I haven't trusted him since I walked in. That's why I didn't give my full name.
Well, I figured it doesn't, I mean,
But I think we're most likely gonna leave early.
Nope. Okay. I
And
think
it
it's
is
my
true.
headphones.
I'm going, the Witch Queen wanted a thing,
Sorry,
right?
guys.
Yeah.
Then I'm gonna be passing out candy. I'm passing out candy to, yeah, well, no.
all knowing mind, so it's
Yeah.
not like she's talking about anything,
Well, I think what I'll do is I'll,
Uh,
go home
you know.
and I'll
isn't
fly around
appropriate.
and
Yeah, I
get-
just wanted to let you know.
I appreciate
For a minute there, I thought I had gone out because he
You
wasn't.
guys can still hear me, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
You can.
I'll let them know in chat.
What happened?
I'll write it, yeah. Or somebody write it.
That's my microphone. Oh. All right, that's weird. Now, go ahead and talk again, guys. All right, I can, but now you're not going across the stream, though. Hold on. Let me try this again. Talk again. Nope.
Okay, so that's fair.
The old man pulled the rope, and now Daniel can't hear us.
it.
Okay,
Imagine
here we go.
every
All right, we're back.
molecule in your body simultaneously exploding into a million pieces.
Tell me you can hear me now, right? You can hear me now? Or no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right, sorry. I think what happened
about
was
now?
yeah. I think my Bluetooth like popped out for a second, then it just wasn't coming back, so it was doing this weird thing. Sorry. Yeah. So you guys did that whole combat without me. How'd it turn out? No, it's kidding.
We won.
We won.
Yeah, we won.
We won.
We kicked that old man's ass.
Okay.
You
So,
should have seen it. It was glorious.
We wish
So
you
what
would
did
have
you
been there.
what'd you
I
get for
blame
initiative?
myself.
What'd you get for initiative there, Podesta?
I got a 2.
All right, so he's going first. So he pulls the rope, and from the ceiling, he's got like a little like the rope slides, and this thing like turns, and the room dust just covers the room, and this is dust of sleepiness. When flung in the air, all creatures make a death saving throw.
This
So
sucks.
death / poison. So if you have an advantage for poison, make that. So make a death
That's
/ Rowan just down.
That's everybody, right?
Everybody
slash
in the space. Everybody but Buka, because Buka's not there.
4 hours.
And I guess I guess Eileen would be there too, because I'll roll for her.
Death, I don't have any kind of
7, she goes down.
adjustment. Let's see.
Oh my god.
Oh, I made it.
Oh no.
I rolled I rolled
All right,
17.
so the three the three other ladies with you drop as he pulls this thing down. And also when he pulled it, you hear the doors go and bolt shut. So he kind of looks at you with the creepy smile. But it is your turn, Vanessa.
Straight up serial killer shit going on.
Going to say you really, really are not doing anything for my trust issues. And I said I would cast a spell, so I'm going to cast improved invisibility.
Okay, yeah. So you whisk away invisible.
Longer than that.
You're gonna be super.
Yeah. All right, so you are invisible, and we're going to come into the next round. He, of course, he sees you disappear, and he draws. You see him pull back his cloak, and you see he's got a dagger on his side that he is going to draw. But he can't do anything yet because we got to roll initiative. So you are invisible. He got a 2.
But the love of it.
4.
Okay, you're gonna go first. So you see him standing there. He's kind of like near the fire with the he's got his hand down and his dagger, getting ready to pull it. He's looking around, clearly because he went invisible.
Okay.
What you?
The doors have locked shut, you said?
Yeah, you heard the bolts slam across the door. Yep.
Okay. What I'm going to do is improved invisibility says that I can attack enemies without reappearing in exchange for a limited duration.
Right.
So my duration is going to be 4 rounds plus 1 round per caster level. Right.
Okay.
That's 12.
That's if you attack, and otherwise it's just
If I
forever,
attack, yep.
basically. Yeah. Yep.
And that's kind of what I want to do. I want to boomerang him, and then in the second phase or whatever, just move.
and then I'll be able to get that.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice. I mean, he's gonna see the boomerang like appear, I guess, because he's throwing it away from your body. That's the only
Yeah,
thing.
and
So
he'll see like a shimmer from where I threw it, but I get a +4 to my AC when he goes to attack where I am.
no, but when you catch the boomerang again, it won't be invisible because once you let go of something, it's no longer
Oh,
invisible.
that's right. That's right. That's right.
I mean, it's fine, but he'll be able to see the boomerang. So he'll give him a slight advantage. If you unless you just leave it on the ground, but you would know that. That's why I'm telling you now before you do it.
I need
Okay, then I won't do that. What I will do
fingers. If we did a 9, that's
is
9.
he's going for a dagger.
Yeah, he looks he's ready to pull a dagger out.
Okay, how much
Okay,
do I actually need to?
I'm going to I'm gonna try to use the whip the dagger out of his hand, drop the whip, and then move away. That's what I'm gonna do.
Nice. Okay. All right. Well, you want initiative, right? So go ahead and make your attack. So the whip is like a special move, right? In order to entangle somebody, you got to roll a certain number. Let me look at the whip.
Yeah, I have it on my list here. Whip, whip, whip.
I
We're
mean,
not
it's a weapon no
talking
matter
the
what.
whip, right?
Yes.
What?
We're not talking the whip, right?
The whip? No, not the. I'm not doing the rod yet.
The rod of your dead.
Yeah.
Also, as long as you don't let go of the whip, the whip should remain invisible, so you don't have to drop it.
Yes,
that's
that's
true.
true. Yeah, the whip will stay invisible as long as you hold on to it.
In
Yeah,
order
that's
to
really true.
entangle, I have to get him. Well, let's entangle. I just want to try to flick the dagger out of his hand. So I'm not sure how you'd want to rule
So
that.
you
In
wanna
order to
disarm
entangle, it
him.
has to be 5 or more. I have to exceed the required score by 5 or more.
Okay, well, I would
For
think that you're
entangle.
trying to disarm him if you just want to knock it out of his hand. So
Yeah.
that'd be under advanced combat. There isn't an advantage. Assuming you can do it, it might only be a fighter thing. Let me just look. If not, we'll just figure it out. Disarm. No prerequisite. Combat sacrifices an attack and attempts to neutralize his opponent. You got to roll a d20. And
Now, then it's gonna be really expensive just for the gear.
okay, so you're going to be a -4 to hit.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm going to roll it. So 17. The -4 would be 13.
Okay.
So that hits on my thing, armor class 2.
AC 2. Okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that hits. So, if the hit is scored, the target must make a test of strength or drop the weapon. Unless you roll a natural 19 or 20, the target must make an extraordinary. Okay, so just a regular feat. Okay, so a d6. I don't even know what his strength is. Let's roll first. 4. I have a feeling that's not gonna pass, but let's take a look. Rush, could you mute when you're not talking, just because I can hear the background noise?
Yeah, sorry about that.
Space. Yeah, no worries. Let's check his strength. His strength is. Oh, he's pretty strong. Oh, he doesn't make it though. Okay, yeah. So he's starting to pull the dagger out, and the whip just hits his hand, and he drops the dagger on the ground. So he didn't really have it out yet. So yeah. Okay, and then you're gonna move second phase. Okay, so he doesn't have the dagger anymore. Well, what he's gonna do is, since he just drops it on the ground, he's gonna move towards the party members that are on the ground. Let's see. I'll roll a d6 to see which one. He's gonna move towards Ronsich, and he's on the way. He's gonna grab one of those knives off the cooking table, and he's gonna bring it down to her throat, and he's gonna say, "Surrender now, or I'll kill your friend." As he puts the dagger to her throat, and he's looking around. He doesn't know where you are, of course.
Okay. Well, okay. Make me angry.
What you want to do? We roll initiative. He's got the dagger right to your sleeping friend's throat,
Okay.
and she's no longer on fire.
Right. I want to say this is not going to end well for you. Drop the dagger.
He says, "Show yourself, or I'll cut her throat." And he looks over and you see him side eye the little timer. He says, "Don't make me flip the timer over. And my bread is going to burn."
Okay. I'll show myself. I'll drop invisibility.
Okay.
But I want to hit him with the rod as soon as I get a chance.
Okay.
Because
Roll
now you're
initiative.
free.
All right. Roll initiative.
A 1.
5. All right. Yeah. I mean, he sees you going for the rod. He's gonna stick her. You're about to get stuck, Rowan. See. This is not ideal. See, I told you as soon as I could pronounce your name, Crystal, you'd be in trouble.
Yep.
Okay. He is going to. I just need to check because he is an assassin, so he might be able to do some kind of crazy assassin thing on you. Assassin's a thief subclass. Okay, how many hit dice for you?
6.
Okay, so
No, 7.
okay, 7.
'cause I'm,
Okay,
yeah.
all right. So he's got a 10 and 20. Okay, so basically he's got a 10 and 20 chance, and if he succeeds, you're just going to drop to 0. I mean, you won't be dead yet because you know your PCs survive until yeah. Well, I mean, normally you would be dead, but I'm just going to say he's just going to cut your throat. He's not going to actually kill you because he doesn't want you dead. So so basically, actually you can roll it, Crystal, if you get
Right.
if you get more than 10 on a d20, then you drop to 0 hit points. Otherwise, you just take d4 damage.
Okay, so I'm just rolling a d20.
Yep. Okay. Yeah.
13.
Okay. So yeah. So basically, you're going to drop to 0 hit points and be unconscious, which you're already unconscious. But I'm going to say that I mean, you don't know this obviously, Vanessa, but he's an assassin. He knows how to like cut just right, so it looks like that he cut her throat. So what you see is him cutting your friend's throat.
Yeah,
But Crystal,
no, I
Crystal-
want to rod him.
But Crystal, you you go to 0 hit points, exactly 0.
Okay.
Okay. So how does that work again? You have to make an attack or something. Right? No, he has to make a saving throw.
Yeah, he has to make a device save.
I keep forgetting about that thing. You know, just for the drama, I'll roll 20. I have no idea what his save is, so I'm just gonna roll 20. D20. Ooh, 15. That's his strength. Where's his saving throw? Saving throw. 12, and he gets +2 versus device. So what, he avoids it if that's the case?
Yeah.
Yeah, so you shoot it at him and he basically dodges out of the way, and in the second phase he's gonna pick up his dagger.
Okay.
And he smiles at you again with his crooked smile. And he says, "That's 1." And you can see now he's got the dagger.
Okay.
What
What do you
wanna
want?
Oh, he smiles. He says, "Well, I wanted you all, but clearly you're not going to give yourself peacefully. I'm trying to decide if I should just kill you, or if I should have you recover that treasure from me." He looks down at the you know, to kind of side of his eyes at Revna on the ground, and Rosie just bleeding out, and Helene, and he says, "Huh. I could send you off into the snow alone. No, I think I'll just kill you."
Okay. Melee.
All right, he's going to come at you as well, melee. Yeah, he's kind of a psychopath. He rolled a 2.
Okay. I also rolled a 2.
All right, what's your dex?
My dex is 18.
Oh, I don't think he has an 18 dex, so you are going to go first. Yep. Yep, he's got a
Right.
dagger. Yep.
I have my long sword.
Okay. His AC is 3. Go for it.
All right. Ooh. Yeah, I hit. That's a -4. I
Nice.
rolled a 19.
Oh, this guy is not easy to kill, though. Okay.
No, I know.
Okay.
I'm
No,
going to
I
be
didn't
yelling,
know.
by the way, for Buka.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're going to give him a chance to hear you, yeah.
to. At this point, I'm just like, okay, I've
Yeah.
tried my little tricks, and so yeah.
Yeah.
I
Give me some
do
damage.
10 points of damage.
Oh, wow, okay, that's still a massive hit. Yeah, you notice that like you hit him and it definitely digs in deep, but it's almost like your sword felt a lot of resistance, even though he's not wearing armor or anything.
Okay.
He's actually just got regular clothes on. Buka, roll roll a d6. Three or better you hear, or three. I should say 1 through 3 rather you hear. Boom. Yep. Yeah, you hear Penesta scream for help.
Okay, I go running to the door with my battle axe.
All right, give me an extraordinary feat of strength if you want to bust through this round.
Well, the first one passed.
Nice. All right, you're gonna go second phase, but we'll narrate that as it happens because now I see a door exploding off the hinges and a berserker entering the room, which is pretty epic. But he gets to go first because you're running through the door. He's gonna take a stab at Penesta. Ooh, that's probably not gonna hit. It's his fighting ability.
My AC is 5.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I don't think that's gonna hit. Let's see. It looks like he hits AC 9 with no modifiers. So that does, what's his plus on the dagger? +1. So nope, he misses. Yep, he leaps forward with the dagger and misses. He's not that good at fighting melee. He was hoping for an intimidation. All right, yeah. So you're kind of nearish the door, right? And you well, actually, you attacked him with your sword, so you're right near him. So the door explodes behind you as Good comes in. You see this guy just stabbing at Penesta as she dodges out of the way. You see your other 3 friends on the ground. Ronsic bleeding all over the place from her throat. And you see this guy. So I'm assuming you're gonna chop him with your battle axe. And
Yep.
all right.
There's
His
not
AC.
much thought that goes into that.
Yes, exactly. Oh, that misses though.
It misses.
Yeah,
I'm just
unfortunately.
too upset.
Yeah, his AC is 3, so you come in and do you able to get 1 attack with the battle axe? You must get 2.
Yeah, right now.
Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, so you smash through the door and swing at him with the battle axe, but Penesta's in the way, and it's just that, this is your first time being in the space, so you're feeling it up. So maybe even the table's there. You bump into stuff, it knocks out of the way, and you can see now that his eyes kind of open up wide because he's a little bit freaked out now that there's 2 people facing him, one of which has a big old axe and the other one with a big old sword. But he still looks at you and he says, I recommend you leave now and let me have the women. Yeah. And the other, of course, mercenaries are coming as well behind. There's not a lot of space for them to fight in here though, so they're kind of like unsure as to what to do. But we'll figure that out in the next round. So, what would you like to do?
Melee.
Malay. Okay, how about Buka?
Melee.
Why do I ask? And of course, he's. What kind of armor are you wearing, Buka?
None.
Okay. And Vanessa, you're just in studded, right?
What?
Yes.
Yeah.
Studded, yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. So,
I think I'm just gonna keep laying here if you don't mind.
sorry, Revenant. Sorry, Charlie. Actually, you and Crystal can play the henchman in a second once we get into the next round. So this he's going to attack as well. He's going to go after Penesta because she cut him once. So roll initiative. Oh, you got a 1. I guess he's slow
Okay.
this round.
2.
All right, you guys go first. So go ahead, Buka, just because you're first in my.
Okay. Snicker snack. Uh-oh.
Not only did you miss with the first one and the second one, you rolled a critical fail. Roll
I never liked that battle axe.
roll a d12.
7.
7. Luckily, you're a fighter, so you just drop your weapon. Drop weapon pitches 1d6 plus 4 feet in a random direction. So roll a d6 to see how far. 2. Okay, so 6 feet. And roll 1 more d6 to see where it goes. 2. Forward. Yes, you can. And the place is not that big, so I'm going to say that you basically swing past him and it sticks into the wall.
Excellent.
But just barely out of your hands. So it'll take a round to pull it back out if you need to do that. But
I'm just going to go to my hand axes then.
Yeah, that probably makes more sense. Penesta.
Yep, okay. I will roll. Let's see, that hits. What does that do in my that hits armor class 2, so yeah, that'll hit him, right?
That'll hit. Yep. His AC is
Okay.
3.
Only for 4 points, but still
Okay.
it hits.
Yeah, it cuts him, and he kind of looks at you and snarls. Yeah, he looks like he's got a lot of fight still in him, as he jumps at you with his dagger. That is a 16, which I think should hit you. 16 hits armor class -2. Yep. He's gonna jab the dagger into you for a D4. Actually, D4
Okay.
plus 1, so 5 points.
All right.
Yep. However, I'm missing it. This is not just a regular dagger. Of course. Oh yeah, it has sleep poison. So yeah, go ahead and make your save again.
Okay. Come on, dice. Oh yeah, I rolled an 18.
All right, yeah. So it sticks you, and it kind of just cuts you, and yeah, you must have some kind of either luck or immunity to this thing at this point. But he kind of staggers back a little bit. Coming through the door at the end of this round, you guys can be the. I'll say 2 more people can fit in here, so you guys can be just the regular the leader, because of course, like any good leader, is not going to run in there and get killed. So he calls to 2 of the henchmen, "Go, kill them, kill him." So, Crystal, go ahead and roll me a d20 for one of these guys' attacks. They
Okay.
are 0-level fighters using spears.
I got a 2.
Okay, that does not hit. And Rush, go ahead and make an attack with it from the second henchman. They're coming in with their spears, kind of jamming. Rush, go ahead and make a d20 roll for the other guy.
Boy, that's pretty good. on that
Okay,
one.
sorry.
That's okay.
Playing
Yeah,
on a
so-
tablet and it locked up on me. Or
No,
you
no,
know what I mean,
understood. Yeah.
screen locked. Okay. D20, you said?
Yep, you're attacking for one of the henchmen, the nameless henchman, spearman, as they would be. Spearman number 2. Oh, that's actually a pretty good attack. 14. He's a 0-level guy that hits AC 6, which does not hit, unfortunately. Yeah, he jams through, and like just at the last second, the guy just moves out of the way. Now having 4 people looking at him, he seems a little bit nervous to have all these people here coming at him. But as you come into the next round, you look at his eyes; they're getting a little wild. It seems to him like he's cornered, so you don't think he's going to back down at this point.
Okay, I got another.
What do you want to do, Crystal, with your henchman?
Melee.
Okay, Abuka.
I'm pulling my hand axes.
Okay, so you can go second phase, or you can go first phase with the -2. Well, actually, you lost your axe the first phase of the last round, so you could have pulled them out already. So you can.
Okay, hand axes, melee.
Okay, Penista
Melee.
and Rush with the.
I'm gonna go melee as well.
All right, go ahead and roll some initiative there, Nick. You got a 3.
We missed 1%.
Okay, I got a 4.
Oh, all right. You go first. Go ahead, Crystal, with henchman number 1. Let them
All right.
earn their keep.
Stabby, stabby. No, I did not hit.
Okay, yep. You can basically need a 17 to hit. Buga. Hand axe.
Smacky, smacky.
You're definitely better with the hand axe.
Yes.
Yes, you chop deeply into him, twice at that, and he staggers back. And he looks at you, maybe thinking he probably should have been focusing on you instead of Penesta. Speaking of Penesta,
All right. Oh, 15. Yep, that'll hit.
all right,
All right, and then 7, 8, 8 points.
Okay. All right, he's still up. And you can actually smell like this like stink, and you kind of look, and it's there's a weird light in here just from the fire kind of coming up. Maybe you thought at first that was what it was, but now as you're looking, because it's hitting the ground, you can actually see that the blood coming out of his body is kind of like almost a greenish color, and it smells like incredibly acidic as it's splashing on the ground and kind of coming out of him. And you can see his eyes are like almost pinpoints now as he's starting to get like very manic. Rush with the other henchman.
Okay. This is so hard to do on a tablet. Uh-oh.
Whoa,
Might have got
nice.
him.
You definitely
Might
got
have
him.
got him.
You definitely got him. All right, so it's a long spear. Two-handed. I think it's a D8.
Yeah, I'm hoping if I don't
Yep,
get
D8.
what you're talking about, then
Ah!
Well, you got him, but it like stuck to the side. Hey, listen, every point is a point.
Thanks for the help.
He steps back just as like a little bit of blood drips down. Yeah, he's going to jump at Buka this time because Buka's now a killing machine with that. 19. That's gonna hit. So it's 20. So Buka, make me a death save, poison death save.
Let's see. Death save.
Yep, but it's poison, so any benefits. Do you have any bonuses for poison? Equal to +3? If
Nope.
not, that's a fail. Yes. And you feel a little bit dizzy, like you've been drinking too much, and you fall back. You're like, your head is. You feel warmth on your face from the blood of Rowan Siege kind of pouring out on the ground. And then he smiles again at Penesta, and he seems to have a little bit more. He feels a little more confident all of a sudden now that he's just facing off against her and the two henchmen again instead of 4 people. But what would everybody like to do? Crystal and the henchman.
Melee.
Okay. Penesta.
Just melee, I guess.
All right. Ravna. Sorry,
Melee.
henchman. All right. Let's do
Melee.
this. Initiative 3 for the guy.
2.
Oh, all right. He's going after you, Penesta.
I figured.
Let's see if your luck can hold up. He's eyeballing that wand of that's the end as something he wants in his pocket. Oh, but he misses because he wasn't paying attention. All right, yeah. So he stabs at you and misses. And
Okay.
Crystal Henchman number 1.
No.
Okay. Penesta.
All right. Ooh. I think that just hit. You said his armor class was 3?
3. Yep.
Yep, that's what I rolled. I rolled a 12, which hits 3. So
Nice.
okay. Oh, 10 points of damage.
Oh, all right. Yeah, he staggers back. Like his you hit him in the shoulder, and like his arm is like you can actually see the joint, like he just broke a piece of chicken wing off or whatever. And he's kind of like this, and you can see this green stuff like dripping out. But he still kind of has a smile, even though there's like blood coming down from his gums. Next round, I'm assuming everybody's doing melee.
Yeah.
Okay. Initiative 1.
3.
Okay. Crystal.
Here we go. And ooh, 17. I believe that
That
hits.
hits. Yep.
Uh,
D8.
and that's a D8. Okay.
Oh,
5 damage.
nice. All right. Yeah, you stick your spear deeply into his rib cage and pull it out, and just a flood of this like gross green liquid comes out, burning your nostrils. But he's still standing. Penesta.
Okay. Nope. No, I missed that time.
Okay. How about Rush, last henchman? No. Okay.
Nope.
Wow. Okay. Yeah, the 0 level henchman against this guys. You guys are doing good, but you don't have that much of a chance to hit him. All right. So, all right, he gets to go. He's going after Pinesta again. Ooh, 10. 10 is hitting armor class 4.
Yep, that'll hit.
All right, make me a save.
Yes, I roll well on the saves. 18.
Wow. Okay. Nice. You definitely need that. 4 points of damage though.
Okay.
And now it's the next round. I'm assuming everybody's belaying again.
Yep.
Oh, we got a 6.
Oh yeah, I did not.
Okay, he's gonna go after you again. 12. I think a 12 hits because a 10 hit, right?
Yeah.
12 hits, armor class 2. Okay.
We'll roll my save.
No save. 3 points of
Oh.
damage.
Oh, okay.
You probably noticed there's no longer that kind of purpley green glisten on his blade anymore. And now he's just fighting. He's just fighting to kill. Crystal, henchman number 1.
Does not hit.
Okay. Pinesta.
All right. No, I miss.
Oh my God.
I know.
He's- Rush.
What the hell has happened to us? All right.
Henchman number 2. Come on, you got this.
No.
Oh God. All right. Yeah, he's like staggering around. It's almost like you're missing him because he's not staying. He's not fighting in normal fashion. He's like kind of slopping around and falling backwards, and it just like green ichor's just dripping out, and you can smell it burn. It's like starting to burn your eyeballs a little bit, and yeah, so it's very stinky.
I'm just picturing yakety sax playing in the background as we're having this fight.
Right at this point. That time I rolled a 6.
Okay. 5. All right, you're gonna go first. Go for it.
Oh yeah, that time I'll hit him with the 17.
Nice.
Woohoo!
Or 10 more points.
Okay. Yeah,
Go for
you
it.
stab him through, and you pull your sword out, and you just know that you killed him right through his heart. And he staggers back against the wall, his chin drops to his chest, and then he looks up, and just like blood starts pouring out of his eyes, and he holds his dagger up, and he smiles again. And henchman. Number
Ooh, I hit.
3. Yep, okay. What'd you get?
19 for 7 points of damage.
All right. So he looks up and he smiles, and then from over your shoulder, Pinesta, a spear just comes through and sticks his head to the wall. And then you just feel his body go limp. And then you see it start to melt. And there's a pile within a couple seconds as you're all kind of staggering back and looking at it, there's a pile of slime. And your
I look
henchman
at,
number 1 killed the
I look at the henchman number 1 and I say, thank you, truly. Now go get the bread out of the oven. We don't want it to burn.
Yeah, you just smell that bread starting to
Somebody's bucking for a promotion.
Yeah, exactly, right? So you do notice a couple things. We're gonna go. We'll take a break. Well, you can slap everybody awake, obviously. He does dissolve, but there's a couple of things that stay on him, or stay. There are a set of that he was wearing under his robes. There's a set of beautiful brass bracers that have arcane symbols written on them. There is also a small pouch that have what look to be almost like they're the shape of eggs, but they seem to be made out of some kind of strange glass. 3 of them. And there's also a small, like a potion vial and a key. So we'll go over all that stuff when we come back. But let's take a 10 minutes break. Everybody's good with that? And then everybody can be awake again. All right, awesome. And because they can wake you up with the... actually, the cleric is there. She'll heal you up when you a little bit so you can wake up. We'll do that when we come back.
Check
Okay.
check the chat when we go to the break there, Danny.
Oh yeah, Yong's been jumping in.
Well, he sent a message. I didn't know if you saw it. So anyway.
Oh,
all right.
which chat? The
I'll see you all-
Facebook chat?
Yes.
Okay, I'll check it. Okay, we're back. You have defeated the the man in the cabin, the poor old man who was just trying to make some stew. The rabbit stew by the way smells fantastic. The bread is cooked. You're waking your friends up. Helene, of course, wakes up and immediately sees that Rowan Seach is hurt and will cast upon her hands upon you to wake you from your sleep and cure you. She's going to cast a cure moderates. So, sorcery cure. You're looking pretty bad, so she's going to cast a cure moderate wounds, which 2d8. 7 and 6, so 13. 13 points get healed to you, Ronsich.
Very nice. Rowan Sage gives Helena a hug. Says blessings to you and your god.
Mm-hmm. She looks at all the blood like down the front of her plate mail. She kind of just says, "Oh, thanks." So as you're waking up, like I said, you notice that the alchemist, basically most of what he had on him was disintegrated. Or fell into this like slime, and you can see that the slime, by the way. Oh, and also Ronsich's blood seemed to be like seeping into the floorboards all around. The cabin doesn't have, you don't have the chance to really look at it. It's got like, it's slightly raised up off the ground and it has floorboards. And you can see the blood kind of dripping out into it and kind of getting like acidic, weird green blood and also the red blood. But there are, like I said, a set of bracers, as well as a small pouch that seems to have these three kind of, they look like they're glass, but they're pretty sturdy. They look like eggs, and they've got like a red liquid inside. And then there's a vial, which is clearly a potion, and then a key. So all that stuff's in this room. And of course, the last henchman, the leader, kind of comes in, with with somebody in tow who you guys know, who we haven't seen in a while. Literally haven't seen in a while. Eka, how did you get here?
Well, I've been with you guys all along. Gosh, nobody talks about me or talks to me. Maybe it's because I remained invisible. But I heard that commotion and decided to come and see if I could help out.
A little late.
Well, thanks for helping.
No problem. I got your back, of course.
Yes.
Okay.
Blister.
I look at Buka and I say, thank you for coming when I called.
I think, well, I feel like this is my fault. I mean, I guess I'm not the best judge of character.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way as well.
Well, I
mean,
know.
like,
I thought he was a
I'll-
nice guy.
I mean, my plan was, hey, one of us go to the cabin and ask about the standing stones. And your plan was, hey, everyone, let's come have a meal with an assassin.
Well, he seemed like a nice guy.
They always do, don't they, Panesta?
Yep, they always do. Well, not
Resna.
always. Sometimes they're not, but
Resna leans into Ron Seek and just kind of whispers, just said,
Yeah. And that's what I've been doing.
berserkers tend to live notoriously short lives. And she reaches around and pats on the shoulder and says, I think you're getting to figure out why.
Well, as long as it's only
I believe
temporary,
so. And Rowan Seach is going to cast her other sorcerer's armor on herself. And this time she's not taking it off.
Yeah, that's probably a good idea.
Oh,
All right.
Roansich and Buka, I do apologize for the fact that I remained invisible throughout all this time and never actually made an effort to introduce myself to you. But yes, I have been watching you all along. So hello there.
Yes. Hello.
Yes, my name is Eka.
Well,
I'm
I
a
kind
mage.
of, I think I've seen you. We've met on the boat, didn't we? The big boat. Weren't you on
Oh,
the
yes.
big boat?
Yes, I have been, but however, I remained invisible most of the time. That's why they call me Eka the Invisible.
Or Eka the Blister, but that's fine.
Yeah.
It's okay. We'll work around this, I'm sure. He goes, hey, why don't you make yourself useful and go dish up some soup for other people? Some of the stew.
Do you truly trust me to cook things for you? If you do, don't mind me at all. Yes, I'll whip up something delicious for everybody.
Well, I think there's something delicious already made.
You know,
What,
there's bread.
Yeah,
Uh,
there's
And
what?
stew.
Yes,
stew.
but have we not learned something from this experience? The fact that you were attacked by some crazy creature over here when you enter the hut, would you not be suspicious of the bread that he was baking?
True.
Okay. Well, yeah, you
I
got me
mean-
there.
I think he had to eat something himself, right? I think he was planning to actually eat.
Well,
And the bread was in dough form when we came in, and the rabbit was already cooking, right? So
Right.
Yes, yes. Maybe he was cooking something and decided to insert something to surprise you. But if you want to eat, go right ahead. In the meanwhile, I'll go outside and prepare something for you just in case you do not feel very compelled to eat them. Here.
well, while you guys sort out the food, can I look at his bracers and stuff, the stuff on the floor?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, so the bracers, they are, like I said, they're kind of like bronze. They've got some kind of, looks like some kind of ancient writing. It looks like it might be Greek, if anybody speaks Greek.
Mm-mm.
Probably not. Remember those Romans or whatever. Well, not the Romans, but they might. Um, yeah, it looks like it's in a Greek, like a what do you call it, Hellenic language. It's not Greek.
Oh, Hellenic.
oh,
Okay.
I speak
Yeah.
Hellenic.
Yep. Yeah. There's basically sigils on here that represent the words of protection. So you would imagine there's some kind of armor or something, though they look pretty flimsy, like more ornamental than anything else.
Oh, here, these markings, they are Hellenic markings for protection. I believe these bracers may be magical.
Well, that's a good thing. We'll keep those. Anything, do you know anything about these eggs made of glass? Or look in the pouch.
Oh wow, our signal just dropped really bad. Basically, everybody can roll a d6 on this. We'll say that anybody with the match. So Revna, Ron Siege, you can have 3 and 6. Same for Nesta because you're all magical. The other, oh, actually, Eka as well. So everybody's got a 4 and 6 except for 2 and 6. Should know anything about this.
I rolled a 2.
Of course, Eka knows. And also Professor. You've seen things like this before, or you've heard of them. You imagine that they are weapons of some sort that you would throw and that they would explode on some way. You don't know what they do exactly without some more research, but you would imagine that these are kind of a missile weapon. Why he did not use them against you or anything, you're not sure.
Eka being the annoying mage that he is, he goes, "Ooh, I know what that is. It's one of those throwing weapons. You throw it and something goes boom, I believe. Do you want to try it out?"
Yes, I do, but not right now. Let's wait till we have something worthy to try it out on. I'll
Yeah.
actually hand those. I'll give Buka or Revna might want those. They
What, these
attack with-
things?
Yeah.
Okay.
No?
The
Revna,
protection.
Revna can have.
Well, you
No.
usually are in combat. I usually stay away, so they might do you more good than they would me.
Not the bracers, the eggs, the exploding eggs.
Oh,
Yeah,
I'm not very
yeah.
good
I,
at throwing
I don't
things.
want
I usually
exploding
stick 'em on-
eggs.
Well,
Yeah, let's
I
keep
think she
them
said
until we
Revna
get.
was Revna's
Yeah.
character.
Oh,
Unless I'm misunderstanding.
Well, yeah, no, I did Revna, yeah, because
Yeah.
you usually attack missile, right, Rush? So
Yeah, I have no need for exploding eggs. Now
If I
this,
can help it, yes, I choose to shoot.
now the shield and sword that's hanging on the wall here. That looks interesting to me.
take a look at those. And I'll give the pouch with the eggs to Revna, and I'll say, if we find somebody who can tell us what they do, that'd be great. But otherwise, we'll just have to learn by doing.
well, if
So,
you when we
I
get back. Oh,
Help.
go ahead.
I think I, could take a few hours and sit down and try and figure out what those things do.
Okay.
We'll see.
Okay.
Well,
You can do that. So you collect up the items, the eggs, the bracers, the potion, and a small key. And of course, like I said, the food is cooking here, whether you eat it or not. It's here. You can smell it. If you don't take it off the stove, it'll eventually burn. But the bread is done. Everybody roll a d6 as well for this. 'Cause it's probably pretty
5.
6.
okay. Let's see. Did Deca roll? No. All right. You don't see any. Nobody really notices immediately. I mean, you find a key, but you don't see anything really in the room that looks like it. I mean, it's basically one big room. You don't see anything that seems like a key would fit into.
No?
No, there's
What
just
does the-
basically there's a large table in the center again where you were going to sit down to eat. But there's like a large carpet underneath it, which is now soaked in blood. There's another table against the wall, which had the cooking stuff on it. There's a fireplace with the fire and the pot, and then there's like his pallet, his bed in there. Otherwise, there's not. And there's some tapestries on the wall and like a sword and a shield, which look normal upon inspection.
One
The
stage is
sword.
gonna-
Sorry, the sword is a bastard sword, but it clearly hasn't been used in a long time. Like you pick it up, it's dusty. I mean, it's not rusted. You certainly could use it. And the shield is just a standard kind of small shield.
Rowan Sage is gonna lift the carpet and see if there's anything underneath it.
Oh, you want to try to roll back the carpet? You'll have to move the table. You want to do that?
Buka, help me move this table,
Okay.
please.
Yeah, cool. Yeah, you grab the table, go to move it, and you realize that the table is incredibly. It looked like it would be big and heavy, but when you go to lift it, it's incredibly light. You're able to just kind of move it off to the side, and you kind of roll up the carpet. Well, even though it's sticky and gooey with blood and guts, well, not guts, maybe guts. You in fact see where all that blood was going when it was seeping through. You see that there's a trapdoor.
Hmm.
Oh, what do you think? His torture dungeon?
Well, let's pop it open. See what we got.
All right, go ahead.
Well, should we check for a trap or something? This guy's crafty.
Revna?
I don't want something like jumping out or poisoning me.
Revna, do you want to check it for traps?
Yeah, sorry, I have to switch screens around to unmute myself. So it takes me a while to answer. Absolutely. And I'll go check.
All right. Do you know your chance? I can look it up. What level are you?
I am level. Great. That's hard for me to see the whole.
6 or 7.
I want to say 6. I have
Okay.
66 for
Okay.
HD. So.
All right. Yep. Then 6. So you have a 5 and 12 chance. And if your dexterity is over 16, which it is, you get a bonus. So you get 6 and 12 basically. I say 5 and 6. 6 and 12. So you got to roll a d12. 1 through 6, you succeed.
Okay.
Oh, well, you can do it the other way, I suppose.
The character sheet is not friendly.
It's not on a tablet. Yeah. Do you want me to roll for you?
I have to roll. No, I can roll it. Just what do I need to roll again?
You got to roll a d12. You want to get actually technically I said it backwards. You want to get a over 6. Nope. Yeah, you check the area.
Okay.
Yeah, you check and you don't see anything that appears to be any kind of a trap. Looks pretty clean. I mean, what you definitely notice as you're looking at the hinges and stuff is that this thing is well oiled. Like it's clearly used fairly frequently.
And that's what I'll tell them. I'll just look back and I say, well, I don't see any traps, but these doors are used quite often, so there is a good chance that he wouldn't have trapped them because it would be a huge pain to have to keep arming and disarming and arming and disarming.
Well, open it up then. I mean, you're down there.
By the way, I'm going to be outside preparing food for everybody. Excuse me for a little while. And you see like stepping out.
The vent in the bathroom is open.
Okay.
Oh, ye brave men. And I reach and I turn the knob to open the door.
Okay, yeah, you're able to pull it open, and much like the table, it's actually very easy to open up. And you're looking down into a space. It's definitely it's not like a root cellar in the sense that it's like just like a rough hole. It clearly is cut proper, but you can see that there are probably when the season's not the winter, enough things growing around here that the walls that they're somewhat penetrated with some roots as you're kind of looking down in the space. It's fairly big. I moved you guys over to the thing. Let me reveal this room. So as I describe it, you guys can get the feel for it. On the left hand side of where you're in the square that I'm revealing, you can see that it looks like a little barbell. That's the ladder. So there's a ladder going down into this space. It kind of has this like it's the winter, but it's like a little damp but cold. So it has that kind of feel coming from it. As if whoever frequents this place hasn't been down here like very recently, but recently enough, like I say, that it doesn't look like it's left to rot. Like it looks like it's used. You're looking down into a storeroom. Wooden ladder leads to trapdoor on the floor, which was where you're coming from. Barrels, sacks, and small wooden chests are stacked on the earthen floor of the room. Let's see. You can see that there are also doors, 2 doors you can see. And yeah. So basically it looks like some kind of storeroom, but there are other doors coming out. You can see too that like so you got the trapdoor you opened up and you can see just the light from the space that you're in is kind of flickering down into there. You can see though there's a ladder, and like almost right next to the ladder hanging on a hook is a lantern. It's not lit, but it's just sitting there. And you're looking into this room, which is each square. This is 5 feet, I believe. So it's not a very big space.
I'm going to use my candle ability to create a small flame in my hand, and I'm going to go ahead and head down the ladder.
Okay. Yeah, it is. So it's a wooden ladder, but it's sturdy. And you kind of go down. You feel a bit of a chill. I mean, you guys are still dressed for outside, basically. So probably inside this place, you were sweating because it was the fire was blazing. But as you come into here, it's not nearly as cold as it is outside, but it's definitely colder. And you kind of move down into the space. Like I said, there's a lantern hanging there, but it's not lit. Right next to the ladder, and you actually see in the space two more lanterns, one next to each door, and they're kind of like, I'm not gonna say they're permanently affixed there, but you can see that they're meant to just hang there and stay there because they're just kind of on this like more set up piece. You could take it off if you want to, but they look like they're the kind of lanterns that you would leave there, and those are also not lit.
She'll open the face of one and use the flame in her hand to light the candle or the torch.
Okay, yeah, they're full of oil, and you light them up. You light up the one or whatever, and it sheds light into the room. Everybody's kind of looking down. You can see Rowan Sitch is down there. Again, there's two doors, lots of supplies, barrels and such, couple of chests.
Ooh, chest.
Yeah, Buka will hop down.
Okay.
I would like to go investigate one of the barrels and see if there's any markings that tell what they are.
Okay. Are you gonna keep the flame in your hand when you do it?
Yes, I'm gonna try not to get it too close in case it's flammable, but
Okay. Yeah. So you see a big sign, flammable. No. You know, you look at the barrel. I mean, it's basically because you are a magician, subclass. You can tell that this is stuff that would be used for alchemical purposes. You know, it's whatever it might be. It doesn't actually say what it is. It just says. So I mean, it's stuff like that. Like in and of itself, it's not anything that could be. It's not magical or anything, but it's definitely stuff that you could imagine would be used for that, like sulfur and. Although I guess sulfur would be flammable, but you know, there's other stuff, and they are clearly marked, and they look like they were shipped in from someplace. You know, you can see like they're labeled like as if they were brought in from like different parts of of Hyperborea. As you kind of look through them, you see that you know all the barrels are marked as such, coming in from mostly from the port at Gaul City. But there's a variety of stuff, and you would know too that this stuff is pretty valuable. It's big and heavy, but it's valuable if sold.
well, it seems our friend here practiced alchemy.
Hmm.
Stuff is actually rather valuable, so we could come back for it later. No need to take it with us.
Yeah. Do these doors have windows on them and that, or are they just plank doors?
They are plank doors. Let me just quickly check. Floors, hand-packed earth. You see some wooden with iron bands. Yeah. So no, there's no. They're just they're banded iron, so they're strong, but they're not. You can't see
Right.
through them. I mean, you're in
I'll
a
go
dirt
up and-
space that's like packed floor, and you could probably like try to look like at the seam to kind of look through or whatever. You know, because it's not like perfectly sealed, but looking that way, you don't see any like light coming from the other side or anything. So it's
Right.
really hard to be able to see beyond it.
Open up the door towards the north.
Not dark.
Yep.
Yep. All right. So you open that up. This is a small, basically a hallway. Let's see. It's only like 5 foot by 5 foot, and I'm looking at my little reveal area. And on the other side is another door, and that door is locked.
Oh.
And the reason that you know this door is locked is because it actually has a lock on it. Like the other, well, I mean, you imagine it's locked, I should say. The other door, I should point that out. The other two doors that you saw in this space do not even have locks. They literally
Right.
just had handles. Yeah. This actually has a lock.
Well, I try it. Is it locked?
It is in fact locked. Yep.
I think I found a place for the key. I'll shout back. Yep.
Okay. Can I go down there with the key. I think I had the key.
Okay, yeah. You can do that. Yeah, you turn the key, it unlocks it. Cleanly fits in there, nice perfect fit. Nice and well oiled, seems like it's been used a lot.
Okay.
You want me to open it?
Oh, everything is.
I guess I'll open it. That's
Yeah, go
fine.
ahead.
Your hesitation was all I needed. That's fine. I'll do that. And he pushes it open and stands in front of it,
Okay, yeah.
as a good meat shield should.
Oh, I love
Yeah.
you, Buka.
Some light from the lantern flickers into the room. You can see pretty well the first like square or two in there, but then the rest of it kind of falls off in the darkness. I mean, you can see it, but it's a bit dark. Okay, this is the walls here are lined with wooden shelves holding a vast array of bottles, jugs, and jars of many colored liquids. You also see some scrolls and books kind of stacked up on the shelves. You see mortar and pestle, balance scales, measuring cups, beakers, and so forth. Okay, you also see near the north wall, that funny thing over there, that north is up on this. You see a workbench and a chair sitting in front of it, and just barely noticeable because you only have a little bit of light coming in here is a flicker. There's like a small brazier on the workbench that's flickering, so it looks like there's something burning inside of it. But that you're probably wondering what that big round thing is. In the center of the room is a great stone vat, 10 feet in diameter, 5 feet high, topped with a heavy stone lid. Looks like it's, big heavy lid on top of it. And that basically is all you see without further investigation. So you got a workbench at the far end. This looks like he was working on something possibly because there's like a brazier burning. You see shelves just loaded with scrolls and books and stuff and alchemical tools. You see small like canisters that are marked similarly to the barrel. So in other words, like that's where he keeps the main amount of them, and he just keeps small amounts in here. And of course the giant vat in the middle and a door to the east.
Hey, Buka, do you still have your battle axe out?
It's upstairs. You want me to get it?
No, do you have
I have my hand axes with me.
yeah, I'm just gonna do something to help you see if you don't mind magic.
Well, I don't care.
And I'm gonna use my candlelight. I'm gonna rub it across the head of his hand axe and put a flame on it.
Oh, cool.
Whoa.
All right, so now your axe is on fire.
Okay, is this gonna burn me?
Not if you don't touch it.
What? I can't
mean,
stick this out. What? So I just got to run around with this in my hand now?
It'll go out eventually.
Okay. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. I think. But yes, thank you. That was thoughtful of you.
No problem.
Okay, yeah. So, what would you like to investigate, if anything, in this room?
What are those on the side there? Are those like bookshelves or
Shelves.
something? Oh, just
Yeah,
shelves.
there's
Okay.
shelves. They've got all the alchemical tools on in here. This is basically a full-on laboratory. Again, it has some value. It's a lot to carry out at this moment. You probably want to wait until you can get a wagon or something in here to take all this stuff out, but certainly there's stuff there. Mortar and pestle, scales. It's very clear that he's some kind of an alchemist. And there are some like scrolls and books that are also sitting on there.
Go ahead.
Sorry. Go ahead. I was just gonna ask if we could smell anything specific coming from the brazier at the back. Is it a smell
it
we
smells-
recognize? Does it smell like his blood
Yeah.
or?
No, it does not smell like his blood. It doesn't smell acidic. It smells just like like a regular like fire would smell. Like it's
Okay.
it's got you imagine it has coal burning in it, like charcoal.
Okay.
You hear a voice from the outside. He says, "Can you hear what Ekka's cooking?"
It says when I reach 7th level that I can begin to concept potions, but it also says with the assistance of an alchemist. Is there any chance I could roll something to see what he was working on?
Yeah, if you go to his desk, you can see that. Let's see. Oh, actually, no, he hasn't got anything out. The desk seems completely clear, except like he's doing anything right now. Why it's still burning, it's unclear. But I will say that with that ability, of course, if you use some of these papers and stuff, you would probably be able to, assist an alchemist in making potions and stuff. So it would cut down the time or the fees or whatever it costs to do that. So again, this stuff has value. It is a lot to carry at this moment. But if you want to take something,
All right.
you're more
If
than
there's
welcome to.
yeah, if there's any like papers or scrolls, I'll definitely take those. I'll use that scroll case that we found earlier.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you can start to collect up some papers and stuff on the making of various oh, interesting. Okay. Yeah, you can see that the stuff that one of the things he was working on, that you can see the thing sitting on top seems to be some kind of a to create an alchemic substance to duplicate the effects of the spell produce flame. But you need to use the ingredients and make it and stuff, obviously. And have an alchemist. So yeah, you're looking at anybody else and looking at anything?
Yeah, by this time, Ekka comes in and he
Okay.
joins the rest of the party in that laboratory. And he comments, "Ooh, it seems like he was quite a mage." And he starts poking around and goes over to the table and
Okay.
tries to see whether there's anything that's magical or anything that's related to magic that you can take a look at.
You mean you're gonna use like a check magic spell, or you're just gonna?
No, he's going to look for like one of those arcane symbols
Okay.
that mages would recognize.
Fair enough. Yeah. So you're searching around looking to see if the desk is marked in any way, and what you actually notice is that there is what appears to be very well hidden on the side. It's there's like smooth sides to the wooden desk. There's like what appeared at first looked like a knot or something, but then you notice it sticks out a little bit. And it seems to be some kind of a button. It's not marked at
Ooh,
all, but it's a button.
Oh no.
and pulls a button or presses the button.
Okay, yeah. So you press the button, and the desk itself like flips up, and but it goes right like the bracer's sitting in the middle. It like flips up around it, and the bracer's still there. And you can see that very neatly spread out is almost like if you think of like when you go to the doctor and like they take blood from you, like they put them in the little test tubes and the things. You see a slew of what appear to be potions.
Ooh, very nice. That's where I would have hidden it, in my laboratory. And then
Yeah.
he picks out those vials.
Yeah, you can see that there's several that are like liquid potions, and then you see a few that just seem to be like powders and dust, but they're. I mean, would he mark them? Yeah, I don't see why he wouldn't mark them. Like things are always not marked. Like why wouldn't you mark what you made? So they're marked. Yeah, they're written in. Well, we'll say since that was the thing. Well, they're written in Hellenic. So if you speak Hellenic
I did.
or Hyperborean, I would say,
Yep.
then you will see that there are several different potions here. One is of climbing. There's a potion of healing, a levitation potion, something that says longevity on it. It looks sort of longevity. In the powders, you see powder of appearance, powder of nightmares, and dust of feeble mind. So
Ooh,
these,
powder,
yeah.
powder of appearance, it says. That is mine. And he takes it. And he takes the healing potion and the others and hands it over to Canesta for healing. And the other ones, the climb and the other ones, he's gonna carefully, not pussing, I was gonna go to Rosensick and say, here, this may be useful for you. What do you think?
Yes, you never know. Thank you.
Yeah, and you see like a couple other ones that they say antidote, but they don't say what they're for. They just say antidote, and one of them is clear, and the other one is amber. So they're two different kinds of antidotes, but you wouldn't know what they are because they're not marked. At least not with more research.
Well, my friends, I'll take a few minutes to write it in comments so that all of you can read it.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, you can-
he's a little.
Here, we'll say 10, 15 minutes, kind of going through the stuff, making notes of the potions that are done. You see that there's ingredients and stuff in here. I get a lot of is big and not immediately useful, but could be useful, in the future. And of course, there's another door in here that you have not explored.
Yeah, Ruin Siege is curious. She's gonna do another candle, and she's gonna go and open up that door.
The one on the east. Okay.
Yes.
I do have, I say to the party, just something to point out really quickly. He did say he still had those other adventurers, and he's an evil guy. So what happened to them? Were they? I just want to plant in your minds. Were they working with him, or
Well, they may still be down here.
say, will we find their bodies? Just this is something I'm thinking about. Just so you all know.
Good point.
All right, the door.
Right. You look down the corridor, and with your flame, and you see that this door also, like the one you saw before, has a like a lock on it, unlike the door you just opened.
Looks like another lock. Vanessa, do you still have that key?
Yeah. Let's do it.
All right.
Okay. So you're gonna go down to the end and put the key in the lock.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
fits no problem.
yeah.
Yeah, it could be trapped again. Maybe it's wise to check it.
I mean,
Yeah, I will.
maybe, but I don't see why he would have trapped his own stuff like Revna said. I mean, he doesn't expect anyone would come down here, right?
Well, paranoid. Why would anybody trap anything?
I mean, if you want to check it, Revna, that's fine. If she's down here. But I'm actually feeling okay with going in.
Okay, I'll just hand you the key.
All right, famous last words. I'll unlock the door and and let myself in.
Yeah.
Oh,
You put the key in the lock. You put the key in the lock, and it turns again. Well oiled, well used. Click it. The door opens up. You're looking into a bed chamber. Clearly probably the real living area since it looks much nicer than what was above. There's a shabby sleeping pallet, but it's still much cleaner and nicer than what's there. A round wooden table piled with scrawled papers, bookshelves with musty tomes, a wardrobe you can see hanging there, and a chest, which I guess is you can see in the corner over there. Yep.
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
Go ahead.
Rowan Siege immediately goes for the wardrobe so that she can change out of these bloody clothes.
Okay. Yeah, for sure. So you go over to the wardrobe, and you can see that there are a bunch of clothes in here, but it looks like he doesn't wash them very often, and they're kind of dirty and smelly. But you're more than welcome to just put them on. They won't be bloody, but they do smell a bit.
They smell like old man.
Ew.
Smell like mothballs.
More like just dirty because he doesn't wash them very often.
Like
But he certainly wears them. I mean, they haven't been sitting around. You don't get the sense that they've been sitting here and they're musty. They're more like just worn and not washed.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. So you're looking at the clothes. What's everybody else want to do? There doesn't seem to be any other doors out of here. It looks like a bed chamber. Again, there's some lanterns hanging on the wall, but they're not lit, of course.
Can I take one and maybe light it the way I'd light a torch or something and look under
Yeah.
the bed? I always look under the bed. I have to look under-
Yeah, of course. Yeah, you pick up the lantern, and I mean, I imagine because he must light them. So yeah, there's probably like some kind of way to light it, like a tinder or something there, and you light it up.
Okay.
And yeah, you walk over across of course the room gets lit up. You walk over, look under the bed. Let me see. Under the bed is a bunch of dust.
Okay. Well, nothing under here, guys.
Did you look in the chest?
Not yet. I will take a look at the chest though, Daniel.
Okay. It doesn't have any kind of a lock on it. It just has a latch closing it.
It's probably. Well, I'm just gonna
Poison.
open it. Yeah, if it's
Poison.
poison. Yeah.
Poison needle.
Well, I'm still gonna open it. I'll
Okay.
unlatch it.
Okay.
Don't scream.
All right. Go ahead and
Don't.
go ahead and make a transformation saving throw as a needle sticks into your finger from touching the latch.
Yeah, I figured.
Yeah, transformation. You've been good with saving throws today, so
Oh, that's a natural 20. So yes, I made it.
okay. Yeah. So yeah, this thing sticks like you can just feel it just start to penetrate your skin. You pull away and it breaks off and falls on the ground. It didn't actually stick into you, and you can see as the needle sitting on the ground has a strange like purpley greenish, almost like his blood.
I look back at Buka and I smile a little bit.
I guess I got good instincts.
You were right.
But yeah, when you flip it open, you see inside it seems to be piled with dirty rags and jumbled garments. Also, some bottles of liquids. But more interestingly, sitting right on top, a wrinkled triangular fragment of strange metal about a foot across, and it is glowing with a soft silvery radiance.
Ooh. Ooh, a shiny. Hey, Rowan. Or Eka, I'm assuming you're here. As I look around a little bit.
Did you open that chest already? And he peers down from the outside.
This is definitely magic, and I have some magic, but have any of you ever seen anything like this?
He walks down carefully, and from behind the group, he peers in, and it says, "Ooh, it sure does look magical, and it looks quite dangerous. You know what power resides in such a artifact? But there is nothing to gain unless you take some risk." And he goes up there and grabs the thing.
Oh,
Okay. Yeah, I mean you grab it. And like I said, it's about 1 foot long. It's a wrinkled triangular fragment of a strange metal. It's almost like it's been like crushed, and like you get the feeling like it looks like it was like if you've ever like fallen down and like your skin gets like pulled back because you get a scrape. Like it almost looks like that, but metal. And it's about 1 foot long. It is slightly glowing. It's not marked in any way though, and it doesn't seem to be any metal you've ever seen before. It's incredibly lightweight. It's clearly metal, and you can't bend it at all, but it's very, very lightweight. And not very thick.
It is very, very hard. And then he tosses it into the air and tries to catch it again. And if he doesn't fumble, he catches it and says, maybe you could turn this metal into something useful. Maybe a weapon or something. I would say some great power has crushed it into forming these wrinkles.
Well, it may have some kind of power already. May not need to be turned into a weapon.
It certainly may, but I have to warn you, all these strange items that we found, I could identify a whole lot of them, about 7 of them per day, I would say. But it would require me a good portion of the day. I feel very weak after I perform the ritual. I don't think I'll be able to travel much. So if you're keen on identifying a lot of these things, I would say we make good use of this hut and rest a while.
Or we could just leave you here.
Oh, of course. In middle of nowhere. But I could fly. Yes. Yes.
Well, I know we have people who are hurt, and resting
Yeah.
here is as good a place as any.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind mind resting a little more.
Also,
Helena's
go ahead.
Helena's god had many blessings on me, but I'm still a little weak.
I'm also weak, or not weak, but weekend. He did get me with his dagger a few times. And also the silvery glow. Do you think it's got to be related, right, to the silver glow coming from the place we seek?
You know,
Oh.
if I hazard a guess, I would say it's a fragment of the comet that we've seen before. I know that I kept myself quiet all this time, but I was trying to be a little certain before I speak out. So yes, I think it's a part of that comet.
You think the comet is made of metal?
Yeah, why not? He shrugs.
Interesting. Really, really interesting. She'll say.
It is only a guess, but maybe we'll find out a little more after we poke things here and there.
Yeah, so let's explore the rest of this place, and let me look at these scrolls real quick, just in case there's anything useful here. And I'd like
Yep.
to look at those scrolls on that table.
Okay. Does anybody else want to do anything else in this room? There's no other doors or anything. You've got some shelves with scrolls. You got the the chest you just checked out, table, couch, etc. No. Okay. You look at it. I mean, in quickly looking at them, there's no like magical scrolls here, but it looks like these were probably the scrolls that he was using to work on the potions that you found already. So like they're like some of the research and stuff for like the potion of climbing, and healing and levitation.
Oh, nice. Okay, I'll take them.
So, yeah. You also
Does
see
that guy have... I'm sorry. Go ahead.
you also see that there's one potion. It's like a poison that he seemed to be working on that was had some kind of ability to transform the those affected by it into a baboon.
Oh, well, I know what would have happened had you had that needle stuck into you all the way now, Vanessa. You would not have liked the effects.
No.
No.
Well, it's good that it didn't actually work.
Well,
Thank
Rolling
you.
Pitch, what do you think the needle would have done to her? And he stands a little bit far away from that needle as he speaks.
It looks like it's a transformation into a baboon.
I see. Well, the needle is still there. Perhaps you could pick it up and use it for a dire circumstance.
I think I'll leave it there.
Yes, you're clearly wiser than Becca. Yeah, you to recover that and try to use it and weaponize it would be very difficult at this point. We certainly try. We lost our thief for a second though. Do you guys want to do anything else in this room?
I think we're good.
Okay. Where's you now?
Baboon. There's no other doors out of here, right? That we know
There are
of.
no other doors you can see now. And yeah. I think Eka is with you. Everybody's with you except for I'm assuming the 300 men are staying, and Helene is staying up top guarding. So if you need them, then they can come down. But otherwise, yeah, you guys are in this room.
What do you guys want to do?
Well, there's one more door we haven't explored, and also a couple of chests.
Let's do it. Although I'm not opening the chest this time. I have no desire to be a baboon.
I'll
Yeah.
open the next chest.
Okay.
I'll
Yes,
try.
you guys make your way back through the laboratory and the. Are you locking the doors as you go back, or are you just going to leave them open?
Leave them open.
No, actually, I think I'm gonna lock them back to keep them safe. Never know. You
Well,
never know who might
what?
come through.
Well,
Yeah.
if we're spending the night, I'm gonna sleep down there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, good point. Well, before we leave tomorrow, I'll definitely lock everything back up.
I called the
before
bed.
before you go up, should I prepare the ritual so that I can identify some of these artifacts?
Well, let's wait and see if we find anything else just in case.
Very well.
Okay. Yes, you go back to what is effectively the first room you came into, and you open those chests up. That's more alchemical ingredients in the chests.
Nice.
They're sorted out, maybe in smaller quantities. Maybe some of the more expensive stuff is in there. And of course, there's another door beyond that.
Rowan's just gonna open it.
Okay, this one's not locked, so it's easy enough to open up. And what you see is, you should only see this. Hold on. I mean, I'm just going to reveal the whole thing. You see a series of cells. Okay. If you were thinking maybe this guy was a good guy, this corridor is lined with locked, reinforced wooden doors, each of which has a small barred window. Let's see. Yep. You open the door and your light shines in, and you see these doors. There's kind of, if you want to walk in and like look at each one or whatever, you can see they're all empty. They all seem to have that same key hole that you saw on the other thing, and there's just like the smell of like human excrement in them. It kind of and some rags, and you see some stains on the walls and stuff, but it doesn't seem to be anybody in any of them.
Okay. Well, I don't know if that's good news or bad news yet. All right. I'll go down and open the other door.
All right, let's see. All right, so you open this one up, and this is a workroom, it looks like. You've got 7. Dominating the center of this room is a metal table equipped with heavy chains and manacles, showing some curious scorch marks. On the ceiling directly above is a weird brazen apparatus with a central crystalline lens and 6 glass tubes half filled with luminous green fluid. 2 wooden tables flanking the metal one hold a wide variety of archaic surgical instruments. A wooden shelf on the east wall supports several musty books. These volumes, blah, blah, I can't tell you that until you look at them. To the south, a wire cage hangs from the ceiling, enclosing a large raven that watches you as you open the door. Oh, hold on. I'm missing something here. The wooden shelf on the east wall supports several musty books. Okay. To the north of the shelf, a large metal lever is set into the wall. The lever is in the upmost position. To the south of the shelf is a wire cage hanging from the ceiling, enclosing a large raven that watches the PCs. There you go. So you got big old table in the center with a weird apparatus, not the strangest apparatus you've ever seen, probably. Above it with scorch marks, you've got books and shelves as before, and here you have this this bird cage. Well, you have a lever and then a bird cage.
What do you think, Panesta?
East walls, what's over there?
Or anyone?
We should let them down.
Eka enters the room from the back again, and he says, "Ooh, a raven. Does it speak? Hi there," he says.
The raven kind of narrows its eyes a little bit at you, and it says, Of course I speak, you fool.
Ah, a wizard's familiar. I figured. So, what brought you into this dusty place and into that predicament?
He kind of looks again at you again. He says, what happened to the alchemist? Tell me he's dead.
He's dead.
How can I trust you?
Well, we could take you outside of that cage and show you the puddle of pus and acid that lies out there. Would you like to be freed?
Huh. Would I like to be freed? I've been in this damn bird body for months. Yes.
Well,
If you help me. Ah, perhaps you've heard of me. I am. He gets his wing like this. I am Talos, the bold, renowned sorcerer of Hyperborea, magician extraordinaire.
Talos, hey? And he scratches his chin and looks at Rodzich and looks back at that bird. Does he have any clue at all?
Let me just check something out because I wouldn't give you. You know what? I'll give you a 3 in 6 chance. Actually, who else is from Khromarium?
I am.
Well, all right. So 3 in 6 if you're from Khromarium, then you've heard of this guy.
Okay.
Uh,
You've rolled a one.
yeah. Oh, yeah. You've heard of Talos. He is a fairly renowned sorcerer. Typically interested, from what you rolled a 1. Typically interested in researching and the old Hyperborean technology, like many sorcerers are, and has been quite successful at it. He's got a pretty, last you've heard of him was a long time ago because you've been traveling, so you don't know exactly what's going on, but you've definitely heard of him, and not necessarily in a negative way.
Okay.
I mean, all sorcerers are considered dangerous, of course, in Hyperborea, just like you are. But
Right.
he's not. Yeah, he's not a blob or anything. At least not at this point. He's a raven.
Well, I've been around a little bit, and I am from Khromarium. But you know what? I've never heard of you before, Talos.
I have Eka.
Eka the unseen. No wonder why. If you paid more attention to learning and research and less time worrying about being invisible all the time, you would learn more.
Well, you fool. I don't think that would be such a nice thing to say if I were you, because you're a bird in a cage while I am still here with the power to free you, my friend.
Look at that and goes, yeah, but he did pretty much nail you, though.
Yeah. Think of those times that I came through and helped you out. But no matter. What do you think we should do with him? I think we should free him.
My body is roaming around, hopefully not destroyed, out in the fields. If you could find it for me, I could reward you. I'd help
Your
you.
body. Sorry. Go ahead, Rush.
Oh, sorry. I look at him and I'm like, can you transfer back into your body by yourself?
Well, I'll need help with a powerful wizard. Huh.
Powerful wizard, huh? Well, there's my friend Rodzich.
Yes, Rodzich. No, I've not heard of. Eka, this could be your chance to prove yourself to be a powerful mage. Help me get back into my body. This damn alchemist has switched my body.
I don't have to prove to you nothing, Talos, but I will assist you because out of professional courtesy, you are a mage out of, what did you say?
Listen, you wouldn't be proving it to me. I don't want to say anything, but, well, I'll leave it at that. Yes, I can reward you when we get back to Khromarium, but also before then, the alchemist has a secret treasury.
Good point.
Why did he change you into a raven?
He did. Let me give you some advice, young lady. Never underestimate people.
Well, hold on, let's see.
Oh, I don't. I'm a studier of the arts too, though not a one would say a full-fledged wizard like yourself, of course, or Eka, or even Rowan Siege, but just curious as to what his purpose would have been.
Really?
Have you ever
I mean-
had? Have you ever had shrimp?
Too late, sorry.
Well, of course. I'm a Viking.
Do you know the sauce that they dip it in?
Well, some places dip it in sauce, yes.
Oh, you don't dip it in sauce.
No, if you cook shrimp properly, you need no sauce.
Yeah, butter.
Oh, I see.
Butter.
Butter. Forget it. I'll wait till the next group of adventurers come.
Don't worry. So, where do you think your
In any
body is?
case, he gave me some delicious sauce to dip my shrimp in, and when I ate it, my mind was transferred into this raven.
I mean, that's
And-
the how, but why?
Well, he wanted help building a flesh automation.
Oh, nasty.
Yes, exactly.
Oh, brilliant. Those creatures would be most helpful in navigating
Well-
through dungeons.
Well, he couldn't follow my instructions well enough, and because I don't have any hands, he screwed it up. So now the automation is wandering around, and my body's wandering around, and I'm here in a cage, and I don't have any more peanuts.
Being in the middle of him.
I immediately look around for peanuts.
Yeah, you see like a little jar of peanuts on the shelf.
Yeah, so I grab the peanuts and I dump all of the peanuts in there, and I say, "Well, here's your peanuts. Enjoy."
Ah,
And
excellent. Have you thought about working as a wizard's apprentice? I could use an apprentice.
oh. I mean, I admit I wouldn't mind learning a little bit more about the magic side of what I do, but those are matters that can be discussed at a later time. And I turn and look at the others.
You've been traveling around with me for quite some time. Would you become his magical apprentice? Why not mine?
I look at the others and I go, shall we retrieve this good gentleman's body?
Yeah, I've got 299.
Or
What if we find his body, well, your body, Talos, and it's, dead?
From torment.
Here is a solution. He pulls out his crystal ball and he brings it closer to a bird and says, "For this, I suppose you would recognize what this is, right, Carlos?"
Yeah, his eyes get big. Ah, Eka. Things I've heard about you, they have clearly been wrong. I will have to talk to them at the wizard school.
Well, I used to teach at the wizard school. Well,
I know that. Yes, I know that. So anyways, yes. Yes, if you use the crystal ball, we could find my body. I know, to answer your question, I know it's not dead because my familiar's mind is in my body. And if my familiar were to pass, I would know that.
Oh,
I
yes.
see.
I'm guessing
Well,
there's going to be a whole heck of a lot of frostbite, though.
Yeah.
How do we free you from this cage first? We don't want you to be trapped here while we look for your body.
Yeah, there's just like a little latch that you flip. It's a bird cage. You just can't do it because he's a bird.
His head shakes and he's like, "It's not trapped, is it?"
No, it's not. However, in the wizard's treasure chamber, there is a strong box, and that is trapped.
Hmm.
It will the needle upon the lock will transform you in a terrible, terrible way.
Oh.
Yes. And he opens the door so that the bird can come out of that cage.
Okay. It reaches down and picks up a nut and then flies out and lands on the table. And he kind of looks up and then flies back and lands on it. He's like, "Don't sit on this table."
Well, here you go. Here's the crystal ball. Take a look and tell us where your body may be.
Okay. Yeah, so he gets his, he's like a bird. He's like, oh, and the crystal ball. So yeah, where is the body? Actually, this is very good. It's nice that you have that crystal ball. That makes life easier. Okay, yeah, the body is he'll have to go with you probably. Oh, well, I guess it doesn't have to, but it's basically to the. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6. It's 7 miles to the northeast. No, northwest. Sorry, in a copse of trees.
In the cinnamon and sugar.
It's a bird, so it's sitting in the tree.
Well, if that's the case, then perhaps our burly friend could fly over there and get your body and come back real quick. And Eka has a flight and on Buka. If Buka would allow him to approach him at all.
You're going to make me what?
I will let you.
It's 6 miles away. How fast do you fly?
He's got more than 2 hours of flight.
Right. How fast is his flying speed?
He flies at 60 movement of 60.
50. Okay. So
60.
So you can fly about 3 miles. Oh, 60. Okay, you can fly about 3.5 miles before it'll run out. 3.5 hours. No, 3.5 miles. So you won't quite make it.
I see.
Yeah.
I think I'll take the dogs.
I can.
You'll be. Shh.
I could do the carpet, but I don't know what I would encounter on my way over there.
Yeah. The bird may be reluctant to come.
We are in the Heath. I think that it would be wise to stick together, and she would stick her finger out near where the feet of the raven are, is for him to hop onto her finger.
Yep, he'll do it.
And then she takes her finger and she kind of puts it up on her shoulder, and she's like, shall we go, darling?
Yep. He nods and he says, "Lead the way," or "I'll lead the way," or "Let's go."
Oh, I like that.
Yes.
Eka grumbles, and he turns invisible.
Of course he does. Yeah, I mean, if you get out and get on your dog sled, because you can move, you can probably get there in like less than an hour on the dog sleds, or a little bit, because you go in full speed. You're not like searching. Because you can travel basically a mile. Yeah, you can travel that in 1 hour. So everybody's just getting on the dog sleds, leave everything here, and go.
Well, wait, what time of day is it? I mean, I know Rowan Siege is really hurt.
You can get there and back before it gets dark, but it will be tight.
Okay. I don't know if I want to leave everything. Well, we have to leave like the alchemy stuff here.
Yeah, you wouldn't be able to take that stuff now anyways, not without, I mean, it's literally like wagon loads full of stuff. It is worth
Right.
a lot though. It's worth thousands of gold pieces, but it's going to be like a come back with a big wagon kind of thing.
Okay.
But the potions and stuff you can take, they're small. There is a healing potion if she wants to take it, or actually Helene can heal you more. Do you need to be healed more? She asks Ronsic.
I'm feeling okay enough that I think we could make this trip and come back.
Oh, come
I mean,
on.
I also have my shield up, so
Okay.
that also provides me protection.
Right, that eats hit points, right?
Your throat cut. It's not that deep, but still, I would say go ahead and take that healing.
I'll take it before we rest. It would be wiser to take it then. Just in case we run into something, someone else may need that healing. And then I would have selfishly taken it.
Be selfish a little bit. It's best
Eh,
to be
I'll be
alive.
okay. I'll be okay.
Yeah,
Mm,
I see your
Okay.
point, but it's not selfish when everyone tells you to take it. But
Okay.
you are smarter than you are smarter than I. So do as you will.
Meta, I have 13 hit points and I have 17 temp hit points. So I'm okay.
Okay.
So
Okay.
mush.
All right, so you're gonna ride the dogs out. Okay, so let's just see if you encounter anything on the way. Let's see. All right, Yang, since you're here, go ahead and roll a d6 for us.
Oh man, you know my track record. Oh, 1d6. 6.
Awesome. All right. Go ahead and I'll do it. Wow, that is so funny. So you're riding out about you're about halfway to the copse of trees, and you hear kind of the sound of like the snow like being cracked and breaking, like something's running through the snow, and you kind of barely, because of course you have well actually I should probably roll for surprise, but you because you have the dogs, it's loud, and they stop, and then you see coming over the hill, you see a man who, since you know who he was, Pinesta, you see the body, basically the man that is the wizard there. He's kind of looking around. He's got his arms. He's kind of trying to wiggle him like that. You can see he's got the fur still on his body, but his face is like his nose is like black with snow with frostbite, and like you can see that like his hands are just like swollen and black. As he's kind of running towards you. Strangely enough, you rolled the encounter you rolled was the wizard's body. He's wearing dark blue robes with astrological symbols on them, flapping his arms.
That's
So yeah, so it's Talos's body. So of course he sees his body and he flies forward and he starts like flapping in front of it and talking to it, and then the body kind of calms down. Yeah, you're able to get to recover him because you got him with you.
Okay, so that was easy.
It was easier than you imagined. It could not have been easier than that. So yeah, I mean, I'm gonna say because you have the wizard with you, it shouldn't be a problem recovering him. As far as getting him back into his body, you need to. You should be able to do it actually with all you've got. You need to do a couple spells. We'll just say you can just do it innately. There's a couple spells you're supposed to cast, but it's fun. I think he has the spells in his spellbook anyway. So he will actually tell you though when you go back, because you need to go back to that room where he did it. Essentially, you got to do all these spells and then blast him with that machine again to switch him back. But he's very hurt, so it's going to take a little bit of healing and stuff too. Which luckily you guys do have a cleric and stuff with you. So, however, he directs you to. Oh, I left you there. I did. I went to the plains, but I left you there. He directs you to a secret door, which he clearly would know where it is because he's been down here all this time, watching him come and go. And there is a room in here. And the room itself, the door is not locked. It's just a sliding panel. And when you look in there, you see that there is a small room, and there's a very large chest here. And he tells you that it is in fact locked, and you'll need to use the key in order to not set the lock off.
All right, Rowanseach has the key, so she'll put it in.
Okay. Yep. So when you put the key in, you actually feel like it feels a little bit harder to push in, and when you push it in all the way, you actually hear something like go back, like it resets the pin, and then you turn the key and it actually opens up. So you would know that like just picking the lock would not have taken away the thing because it needed the special key to do it. Yeah, and you can open it up, and you see that it is full of silver and gold and some platinum and gems and some other stuff. And also you see another set of wizard robes in there.
Oh, I'm taking them.
They belong to the Talos.
Oh, darn.
He says, good, my robes. I'll need those. Because sewn inside though he tells you sewn inside the wizard robe is he has like a spell book basically, so he can relearn his spells. But I feel like this is probably a good place to stop. Actually, it's only 10:30,
Right.
but I think we're kind of in a good spot. Yeah, go ahead, Crystal. Sorry.
I could just imagine Rowan's each like, oh, nice wizard's clothes. Oh, yes, I'm gonna need those. Yes, you are gonna need those. Of course.
Yeah, so Eka, after helping him out, he's gonna sit down, start drawing all these weird symbols on the ground. And those who are familiar with magic will recognize that as a identify spell. And he'll be able to identify 7, items. So whichever items that you guys want identified, just give it to him, and he should be able to do that. But for after casting that, he's gonna fall unconscious because his constitution is 8, and he has, he loses 8 constitution temporarily. So once he wakes up, he should be able to tell you all about what they do.
Nice. Okay. Which ones do you guys want to identify?
Those
Okay.
bracers, I think, would be good
Yeah,
to
the-
identify.
Mm-hmm.
Eka's definitely going to identify that weird glowing metal that they found.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do that first?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Cool. Make a sorcery saving throw.
No.
So there you go. Okay, give me a moment.
Oh, nice. Okay. You, normally when you get these things, you get kind of a vision where you can see these things are how they're used. When you touch this piece of metal, what you kind of feel yourself out of your body and traveling at an amazing. I mean, you're used to flying. You fly all the time. You're traveling so fast that you can't even imagine. Like you're flying through the stars. You're flying past planets, past anything that you've ever seen. All the stars in the sky, all the planets, Saturn, whatever. You're just flying past them, and then just off into absolute pitch black darkness. And you don't know what it is, but you know it's something very, very powerful. And the fact that you cannot identify it probably frightens you a little bit in that sense, because you have no idea what this is, but you know it's very powerful and not from this world. It's also not technically magical.
He relays the information. He says, I think I'm a comet. And while he's trying to identify it, he says that I'm going so fast. Ah! And then he starts screaming, blackness everywhere. And he finally snaps out of it and says, I think it's this metal or the comet that it was, or whatever it was, it has encountered some great power, some dark power, I would say. But more than that, I cannot say. And he sets it down.
Yeah, it's very, very powerful. Okay, so the bracers was the other one. The bracers are a bracer defense armor class 5. They don't stack with any kind of armor though, so if you're wearing any armor, they don't, or any kind of armor effect. So, like for instance, your magic spell crystal wouldn't work with that. It would work when you weren't using the spell, obviously. But that does work with dexterity. That's why his dexterity. That's why his armor class was so high. So a bracer defense armor class 5. Some of the potions were already marked, so we wouldn't have to identify those. But I think you have enough to basically identify most of the stuff. The 3 glass balls are actually, for lack of a better word for them, they're rust bombs. They're essentially distilled rust monster essence. And if you throw them at somebody and it hits them, it essentially works like a rust monster, right? Turning their stuff to rust.
What about that sword?
The sword is not magical.
What about those antidotes? Can he identify what those are?
Yep, one is for the baboon transformation, and one is for a transformation that would cast basically the bone gelatinization, which actually is a spell. It's basically a gelatinized bone spell. How many did you get? 7?
Yeah, 7. I think we got
2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 so far, right? Everything else, I think you knew what it was. Just looking to see if there's anything else here. If there's something else, I'll tell you. But that's basically, I think, because the rest of the potions were marked. The one on his body wasn't marked, and that was a healing potion. Otherwise, I think everything else magical you identified. Yeah.
as soon as he says, "Oh, this is a healing spell," all of a sudden he says that he just falls back and falls unconscious.
Nice. And of course, I'll give you the list of
Okay,
everything you
yeah.
got in the chat, so you don't have to worry about tracking it all right now. But essentially, I'll just go over it. I will write it in the thing. There's a potion of climbing. Actually, and it's good you identified one of the potions. I guess because this wasn't marked, so we'll count that as one of the identifications. There was one that was basically didn't do anything, but deluded you into thinking that it was a potion of invisibility, which is always fun. Which you might be able to use. Extraordinary healing. Which is really good to have. The other one is the other healing potion was a extraordinary as well. So 2 of those. A levitation potion, elixir of longevity, dust of appearance. There's 4 doses of that. Dust of nightmare and visions, 2 doses. Dust of feeble mind, 3 doses. And then, like I said, the 2 antidotes for the traps that were on his treasure. Also, there's a lot of treasure here. Probably more than you can really carry, unless you want to go right back to town right now with it if you plan on exploring more. So I don't know if you want to leave it here or not. But there's I'm just going to tell you how much, even though you're probably not going to count it. There's 14,000 silver pieces and over 8,000 gold pieces, as well as 210 platinum and 17 gems. So there's a lot of gold here. But it's way more than... Well, I guess you could carry it on the dog sled. You'll just be slowed down. So I think that's why the dog sleds can be carried 350 pounds. So, yeah. So there's a lot of gold here, as well as the apparatuses and anything else you want to take from this place. And really nobody knows it's... Well, as far as you know, well, actually, somebody knows it's here. But other than that, that's where we're at. Alchemist is dead. You've cleared the place. You can stay here tonight and heal. So if you guys want to do a resting heal, you can definitely do that. It's safe here, as long as you close all the doors. And if you needed, if that wasn't before the end of the day, who else was hurt? Because she'll cast her healing spells as well.
I was
Okay, so we'll cast one on Panesta, 7 points.
7. Okay.
And who else was hurt? That was hurt enough that they wanted to have a healing spell. I guess Rowan Siege was the only person, right? I think
Yeah.
Buka was hurt a tiny bit, but not. It won't matter. Another 5 from the healing spell.
Oh, that was
Just a scratch.
Yeah, I mean, you're going to get back you like the bunch of healing from your hit dice, so I'm sure you'll be fine, Buka.
Yeah.
Remember, you get back half your level, half your hit dice. You'll roll half your hit dice, I should say, when you sleep.
Yeah.
To heal up. And like I said, it is safe here. You could either stay up top or down bottom. As long as you close the doors, it's safe. The dogs are safe. Animals and beasts of the land know to stay away from this guy. So you are safe in this area. As long as people think the terrible alchemist is still here. Yep.
I just want to say real quick before we leave, before we wrap up, I was wrong. I don't get temporary hit points, but I have an AC of 7 until I take 17 damage, or I dismiss the spell. The spell gets dismissed. So I just wanted
Okay, it
to
doesn't
for
give you
later
extra
on.
hit points. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. It doesn't absorb the damage. That's just as long as it lasts. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Good to know. So yeah, like I say, you can use it, but if you cast that sorcerer's armor, the bracers, I mean, then they don't stack. So you get one or the other.
I would
or
suggest
if
giving
somebody else
those to Buka if he wants them.
The
If
what?
Buka wears the bracers of defense. They don't work if you wear any armor though. So are you wearing armor?
How does that work with because I have natural armor of AC 5.
Oh, really? Well, then you already
Yeah,
have
because-
equal to you.
Yeah. Because of being a berserker.
Okay, yeah, it
And
wouldn't stack
natural
with that.
toughness.
Yeah, if you have something that gives you like a flat armor class, it doesn't stack with it. It only stacks with things that give you like a bonus. So if you had like a cloak of protection, it would work with that.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's probably better for the magic user, but you guys can figure that out.
Yeah.
Um,
Wouldn't do any good for me, I don't.
Yeah, it does got a cool belt that gives him armor class from the previous
You also
adventure.
Yeah, that's true. You also have a good one. All right, cool. So other than that, I think we're good, right? You guys are safe at the Alchemist's Lair. Another night will go by. You guys can heal. The guy. Finally, there was actually an NPC that was evil, even though you've been thinking they were evil the whole time, because you guys don't trust the NPCs.
I thought he was a great guy.
He was super nice, except for he wanted to experiment on you. But he was a good source of treasure. So, yeah, we'll assume you have this place locked up, and you can somehow get the treasure out of here when you get a chance. But we'll just figure like you have it for now. And anything else?
Yeah, I think that if you're following this channel, you should make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, ring the notification bell to be updated on future videos.
Ring that bell.
That definitely sounds like a good idea. All right, we'll see you next time, guys.